Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. It's Friday. College football. It's already been here, but this weekend, Michigan State, Michigan. Ooh. It's going to get better and better. Next week, NFL's back. Oh, gosh, I'm so excited. We got another packed show for you guys today. Obviously, a lot of football to get to, as always, but I got to introduce my guy. He's here, as always, Flannel Sam, my partner in crime. How you doing this morning?
You know, I'm doing good. Even though it was just Nebraska and Minnesota last night, it felt good to see some good old-fashioned Big Ten football, a defensive battle. And I know a lot of people are going to look at a 13-10 score and just kind of mock it as terrible Big Ten football, but it was still fun to watch. Of course, we had Utah and Florida, a game which wasn't really a game. It would have been nice to see Utah with Cam Rising, but it didn't stop them at all. They still just pretty much decapitated Florida.
Florida looked terrible.
And by the way, Graham Mertz blows.
Whoa. Wisconsin legend.
Wisconsin legend.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
no,
Correct.
He wasn't good at Wisconsin. He's not going to be good at Florida. He fooled us all into thinking he was good with maybe. I remember that game in the COVID year at Michigan. That was absolutely brutal. People thought Graham Mertz was good, and he was a one-game, one-year kind of wonder, and now he sucks. He actually is going to manage to be a worse college quarterback than Anthony Richardson, just without all the talent.
No, and that's,
athleticism.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's I don't know. Would you take that as a compliment?
For who?
If you're getting compared to Anthony Richardson in college?
Not if without the talent. I mean, Anthony Richardson's completion percentage was like 56%. And now you just put a slow white guy behind him instead of Anthony Richardson. I mean, it's not looking good, especially against the SEC. Looks like they're going to struggle.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, listen, I know two guys that have 100% completion percentage that are joining us, as always. Besides, we got Matt Broder in the chair. The legend.
Let's go. Good morning.
Matt Broder's
What's
with
up,
us.
guys?
He's hanging with us this morning.
With the Woodward Wings shirt on.
With the Woodward Wings shirt.
Yeah.
This one's for BMG, Big Mike Gentry.
Yeah, that's big time.
Speaking
it looks
of goats.
sweet, too. Yeah, speaking of goats. We got JB in the Burrow LSU jersey to celebrate college football. Look at that, JB.
Of course. And it's a sad day because Gabby's not here. I can't rub this in her face because I know LSU is going up against Florida State this weekend. So,
well, what's your prediction for that, JB?
Oh, LSU's going to roll over Florida State. Come on now.
Yeah, he's wearing the LSU jersey. He's like, nah, Florida State got it.
Travis Hunter's got it.
We got people joining the chat. Don Beat says JB with the drip. We got Daniel Justice Jr. saying, in 1 week we will be celebrating a Detroit Lions win over the Chiefs.
Damn right, in 6 days, baby.
Yeah.
We need to make an announcement yesterday.
Yeah.
So we are officially under a week.
Yeah, we are.
Until the Lions go into Burrowhead.
Oh, you're funny.
Mike G says, Florida sucks. Mertz played like Fred Mertz. Mike K, that thumbnail is the stuff nightmares are made out of. Did you see the thumbnail, by the way? That's our guy Ryan in the back cooking that up. Sam Flannel on Jim Harbaugh's face. You look like legit.
I think I look all right. You look
legit, Sam.
It kind of makes me wish I had Harbaugh blood in me, but I unfortunately do not. I probably would have been more athletic, maybe a little bit more had the aptitude to be a football coach. Sorry to my parents and my family lineage. I love being a Reynolds or a Flannel, so to speak.
A Flannel.
But, hey, my real last name. I just said it. Oh my God! But yes, I wish I had Harbaugh blood in me. But you know what? I can kind of see what it would look like if I were a Harbaugh, and I think it actually. Shout out to Ryan Lentz, by the way. He made it look pretty damn seamless.
You look like you'd be a killer special teams coordinator.
Okay, I like that.
Look at this. Casted Reed says, Flannel wearing red, you're always smarter in blue.
Okay.
And for this one, Funky says 5 days and a wake up. Stop calling it Burrowhead. The moment they started calling it Burrowhead was the last time they won in Kansas City, which is true.
I mean, but it's true. The only time. What about the 3 times before that when he beat them? I mean, they're gonna win eventually. Won't be this year.
I mean, just all I have to say is the Chiefs have parlayed all their wins that they've had, including last year's AFC Championship game against Cincinnati, into 2 Super Bowls. And the Bengals, as a franchise, 0. Just saying.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow time, baby. This is his MVP run right now.
Oh my gosh.
You know
what?
That's not crazy.
No, not at all.
No, and he is expected to be back. At week 1 with that calf injury?
They said everything looks optimistic. He'll be good to go week 1.
Well, speaking of optimistic, is anybody optimistic about David Blau being back in the practice squad? Because,
You know I love me a backup quarterback.
Yeah, you love yourself some David Blau. I'll tell you what, though, David Blau is better than AJ Martinez. So if you're going off that metric, it's a good guy to have on your practice squad. He's back as well quickly. I don't take much from this. I don't expect David Blau to ever play. And it's funny where we are now as a franchise from just a year ago or 2 years ago to where David Blau was playing. And now he better not sniff the field once. That's how I feel about it, Sam Flannel. What do you think? David Blau back in the practice squad. I mean, the news the people wanted.
It's the things that the people have been clamoring for days, for decades, for everything. No, I don't give a damn. I mean, David Blau being on the team, and I hope that for the most part, Lions fans agree. He's going to be basically your quarterback 3. Is he even better than Adrian Martinez? I certainly don't think so. It's just,
look, he looked at
he's
least
better than Adrian
acceptable
Martinez
again on Thanksgiving against the Bears. Then compared to like Tim Boyle, I'm much more happier seeing David Blau come back than Tim Boyle. But again, I'm not jumping up and down for this.
It's a nothing burger of a news. Can we all agree with that?
Yeah,
if you're
fair.
a Lions fan and you even posted this on your Twitter, I understand if you're like, a network like us and we just have to report all the news. But if you actually got excited about this, you should seek some help. Seriously.
Philip C. says Sam is the Blau of WSN.
Oh.
No.
I'm trying to think. What would Flannel be? Who would Flannel be?
I would be if the Woodward Sports were the National Football League, I think I'd be Patrick Mahomes.
You're saying for the Detroit Lions. No, you know what Flannel would be? Flannel would be Anzalone. Everybody can't stand him, but the guys on the team love him, and it's for a reason because he produces. That's why.
Thank you.
Reliable.
Reliable.
I want to bring this up now that we have Broder here because anybody who's indulging in the Tigers, Spencer Torkelson. In the month of August. Now that it's September 1st, we got to talk about that August month for him. 9 homers.
What a month.
9 homers for Spencer Torkelson. I know I talked with Sam about this the other day, and Sam's like, well, he's got to get his on-base percentage up. He's got to get his average up, which is true, but still, he's hitting bombs in August.
He's still got a lot to improve, but it's so great to see him sort of start to come into his own, make contact with those fastballs.
That's it.
That he was missing earlier in the season, and you can see just his raw and natural power. The lineup is different with him actually performing. You see Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter and some of these younger guys come up and really fill out that lineup. It's been a fun August. I know we're not in it. We're not going to win the division, but it's been fun to see this team kind of blossom a little bit.
Yeah, these are the things you look for in a rough month of August, right? Yeah. And I know last year the big conversation about Torkelson, Sam Flannel was, statistically, and I know Neil brought this up. He's the worst player in baseball, analytically. Looks pretty good in the month of August. It's safe to say. He's coming along.
Well, that's the thing with this year's Detroit Tigers. I'm not going to lie, and Broder, I'm kind of curious how you feel about that. When Parker Meadows hit that walk-off home run to beat Houston, it was last Friday. That was the most excited I've been about the Tigers in a very, very long time. Even thinking, oh my God, maybe they could do something this year. This could be their last push, and then they lose 5 in a row. And then after that, I'm kind of like, all right, it's over. And then, of course, Parker Meadows, he hit another walk-off hit yesterday after Alex Lang blew a Matt Manning gem, by the way. But still, you look at Spencer Torkelson, he might hit 30 home runs. Does he have to improve that on-base percentage of that average? Absolutely. Riley Green, he was hitting 300. He had an OPS over 800. He has gone into a little bit of a slump, but still, he's improved. But the guy who has really impressed me the most is Kerry Carpenter. He's been the best position player on this team. He's had an OPS flirting with 900 at some points. It's still in the 800s. And moving forward, I think you've got Kerry Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, Parker Meadows. You've got 4. Matt Manning pitched another gem. Tarek Skubal pitched very well. In the last game, he just got no run support. This Tigers team, despite their latest, I would say, slump as a team, 5-game losing streak followed by a win yesterday, I'm still standing by. They are winning the AL Central next season.
That's what you take. I mean, Spencer Torkelson to where he was last year to now leading the Tigers in home runs. And if he hits 30, when's the last time a Tigers hit 30? What, 2017, 2016?
It's gotta be a couple years.
It's been years.
I'd have to look it up.
This is great.
Yeah.
It's great. And I know this comment, too, shout out to the Broder and Booner show coming out because someone is commented there. Can't wait to see there you go. Shane D. Can't wait for the Booner and Broder show. Well, let me tell you about the Broder and Booner show. Because, guys, have you been waiting for the perfect pair for your nightcap, right? You get home from work, you're chilling, you just finished dinner, you're chilling, like, what can I watch? Well, Guess what? You got something to watch. Our guys, Broder and Booner, they got it. Woodward is bringing you the newest show on the network. We found two of Detroit's newest and upcoming sports personalities, and we're giving them a voice. 8 to 10 p.m., premiering on Tuesday, September 5th. Join the boys to talk some sports. We promise you're not going to want to miss this. Woodward Nights with Boner, or
It's happening once a day.
Well, you can call them that if you like. Actually,
D-Mac made that joke the other day.
everybody should start calling Booner Boner. Please do that.
Forget the second O.
I think that'd be funny as hell. Booner and Broder from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the WSN YouTube channel. Be sure to tune in to Boner and Broder.
The Booner Sports Show. Look what he just commented. No boner from the Booner Sports Show.
I'm gonna purposely do that now every time, dude. I'm sorry, Booner. That's just how I'm doing it. Booner says, or everyone will call you Juicy J. Well,
Better than being called Boner.
yeah.
Sorry, Booner. I love you, man. I love you, man.
I'll take Juicy J over Boner. It just is what it is. Now people are
Oh boy, here we go.
in the Boner Show. Hey, don't sleep on the Boner Show. The Broder and Boner Show.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Hey, Booner, when I was doing the read, Booner's like, let's go. And then he goes, no Boner. No, don't do that.
more.
Please don't say that. Detroit Dabber says, don't make Boner start raging. Ryan's reaction says, Boner's takes are hard. You know what? Yeah, I'm done saying the things I say. I read comments because, JB, there's people out there in the back offices that clip whatever I say.
And you know it.
I know it. Like the JB, what I said yesterday was...
JB's one of them. JB's a sniper, man.
He is a sniper.
Look
Like
at him. He's so low-key.
I got to watch what I say. Like, even if I say, oh, so-and-so said, they're clipping that. That's a soundbite now. Thanks for getting me hard, JB. What the hell are we doing?
My life.
Happy Friday.
Damn. That's tough. I really got... Yeah, that's tough. That one... All right, let's go to break. Let's go to break. When we get back, I want to talk about TJ Hockenson because now I'm pissed off. All right, now we're talking about TJ Hockenson. I already brought up TJ and DeAndre Swift, 2 weeks ago, and when I pretty much ripped them apart on air. But we're going to do it again. We're going to go back and revisit it. TJ signed a historic deal to be the highest paid tight end in the National Football League, and I'll explain to you why that's idiotic. That's idiotic, and I don't understand it. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but before we do that, Sam Flannel, I need a haircut bad. Where can I go?
Well, you can go to Lady Jane's so that you can maybe surpass me as the #1 haircut on the show because it kind of vacillates between me and Jeff Iafrate, and Lucas and JB are always fighting for third. And you can come into Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Let me tell you about our friends over at 5 Iron Golf, Detroit's downtown newest sports bar. It has 13 TrackMan simulators, yes, 13 certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. 5 Iron Leagues are back, debuting on September 11th. Compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. Bring a foursome or sign up as an individual to be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. All you got to do is use code Woodward10 for 30% off the league. That is 5irongolf.com to sign up. Thanks for sticking with us. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. If you guys could do us a favor and hit the like button on the stream, because it does help the algorithm, helps the channel, helps the show, which is big time. So we appreciate you guys for that. I want to get into the TJ Hawkinson stuff because, you know, we talked about how TJ wanted to reset the market. He did just that. And again, I want to say this before I get into the whole, you know, what I think of why, like, if they should have extended him or the contract itself. I'm not an idiot. I understand that when guys come up for contracts, especially if you're in a top 5 category of something, you're trying to reset the market, right? TJ Hawkinson is not better than Travis Kelce. But this is how this works. Players are always going to try and jump the guy in front of them. That's just how it works. So I understand that. For people that are like, Jeff, he had to get paid more than Travis Kelce. He has to reset the market. My problem is, or not really a problem, but what I want to acknowledge is how smart Brad Holmes is and how he operates the Detroit Lions. Think about this man for a second, right? You have TJ Hawkinson on your football team. He's coming up for a deal soon. Brad foreshadows. He had like a That's So Raven. Like, he stops and he go into his eye and he sees TJ on the Vikings and getting this type of bag. And he says, you know what? We got to figure this thing out. So he trades him to the Minnesota Vikings for capital, which ended up being a guy like Brian Branch, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, what do you know?
Was it Brian Branch that pick? Regardless, they turned it into a good prospect.
Oh, it's interesting.
And they drafted Sam Laporta, a rookie tight end who's making about $1.8 million this season. So think about that for a second. You got a rookie tight end who's got a lot of upside, that's going to be able to produce for the future, making $1.8 million, roughly around that number. And you trade away a guy in TJ Hawkinson, who I've never considered a top 3 tight end. Never did it. I never put him there. Top 5, maybe fringe. He's the number 1 paid tight end right now. He signed a 4-year, $68.5 million contract extension that resets the tight end market. The $17.125 million annual average and $42.5 million guaranteed are the highest for a tight end in NFL history. Now, for people that don't know, when he got to Minnesota, like, for that half the season he was there, the guy tore it up. He played really, really well. So good for him. My opinion, though, on tight ends, and I've been consistent with this, if I'm building a football team, okay, and I'm trying to push money in different directions, one of the last places I'm pushing money to, unless you're Travis Kelce, is the tight end position. That's just how I operate. That's how Brad Holmes operates. Tight end, it is a luxury in the NFL, for people that don't understand that. Like, the Philadelphia Eagles have a guy like Dallas Goedert, great. If you have a good tight end, that's awesome. You can also win without a good tight end. Mm-hmm. That is how that works as well. So for a guy like Sam Laporta, I think he could fill some of that void, make significantly less, and Brad Holmes can extend in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Would you guys agree wide receiver is a more important position?
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you guys agree that offensive line is a more important position?
Yes.
So Jonah Jackson's coming up very soon. Penei Sewell's coming up soon. Would you agree that edge rusher is a more important position?
Yes.
Aiden Hutchinson is going to have to get paid in the future. See, this is how Brad operates, and Sam Flannel, I appreciate him because he knows how to build a football team. The Minnesota Vikings have a terrible defense. They haven't signed Justin Jefferson. And you know what they think? Let's extend TJ Hawkinson. Let's extend and by the way, I get why they had to do it because they traded for him. So they can't just let him walk for nothing. But the problem was trading for him. But hey, not for Brad Holmes and the Lions, but for the Vikings. It's just I don't understand it from the Vikings perspective, but also since they're in the division with the Lions, so be it, Sam Flannel.
So be it.
So be it.
And here's the thing. The question isn't whether or not TJ Hawkinson deserved to be the highest paid tight end in NFL history. It doesn't matter. It's null and void. It's just the kind of how the market dictates it at this point. The point is that Brad Holmes didn't do it. The Lions didn't do that. And that is a great thing because I know, Jeff, you asked some questions. I'm going to ask some more. It's like 50 Cent with 21 questions. I've got the 8 TJ Hawkinson questions. Okay. Very quick hitters. And I want everyone to give a quick answer. Number 1, was TJ Hawkinson ever a superstar tight end with the Detroit Lions?
No, he was not.
No. Did TJ Hawkinson, at least on like a macro level, ever impact winning while with the Detroit Lions?
No.
Nope.
We didn't win with them here at all.
Absolutely not. Did TJ Hawkinson ever have a season with the Detroit Lions, a full season in which he even had 725 receiving yards? No, he did not. His career high was 723 in full seasons with the Lions. Were the Lions a significantly better team without him than with him last year and as a whole?
Yeah.
Absolutely they were. Has the Lions' cap space helped them revamp the secondary in the offseason?
Yes.
Yes.
They need that cap space.
Absolutely.
That is true. That is
Do
true.
the Lions currently have the most cap space in the NFC North?
Indeed, they do.
They
Flannel.
do.
Would signing T.J. Hawkinson as the highest paid tight end in the NFL history hurt said cap space?
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
You'd have none.
Absolutely. Then it's all a win. What then at this point, the fact that Brad Holmes had the foresight to just basically say, T.J. Hawkinson, we can trade you, we can get something for you. That is absolutely perfect. Because also, and here's another question that I didn't even pose as my 8 T.J. Hawkinson questions. Do we think that Sam Laporta can step in even as a rookie and approximate T.J. Hawkinson's production at about a tenth the price at this point? Because I think he's going to be making $1.7 million. Do we all think that that's not only possible but very, very probable?
Yes.
Well, then at this point, T.J. Hawkinson can just enjoy his time in Minnesota, and Minnesota can just enjoy their time coming up on being bottom feeders in the NFC North. And I'm not saying that T.J. Hawkinson is a bad player. He actually had a very, very good year last year. When I talk about his time with the Lions, he only spent 7 games with the Lions last year. Would he have set his career high in all of his numbers if he would have played a full year with the Lions? He probably would, but we'll never know. Was he impactful for the Minnesota Vikings? He was. Were the Vikings a very good team with him and without him?
Right.
They absolutely were. But still, TJ Hawkinson is not a guy that you pay big money to. And because Brad Holmes is smart and he's been very, very tactful about which players he has given money to at like very team-friendly contracts, like CJ Gardner-Johnson and Cam Sutton, for example, Brad Holmes is just too smart for this, and that's why I'm so happy for many reasons that Brad Holmes not only understands the talent that you need to accumulate, but you also have to be fiscally responsible. And for that reason, Brad Holmes is the greatest GM in Detroit Lions history, and he will continue to build that resume. And this year, we will really see the fruits of all that when the Lions, at the very least, get a division title and 1 playoff win.
And this is, and I want to get everyone else's thoughts on this too, but I'll just say this, at least for TJ, and we're not stupid. Clearly, you understand why he got the money, right? There's a why. He played really well in Minnesota. They traded for him. The guy who's next up, it's not about who's the best, it's really who's next. Like, who's next up to get paid. That's how this works. But damn, if I'm Minnesota and I'm building a football team, you better hope that your next quarterback's like a 3rd-round pick, making nothing. Because then you can at least afford to have a TJ, to have a JJ, to have a Christian Darrisaw, who you're going to have to pay very soon. At least for me, and Lucas, and I'll let you and Broder speak on this, my philosophy with building a football team, paying a tight end, unless you're Travis Kelce, unless you're getting me 1,000, you're basically a receiver. 17's tough. And TJ, what he did was essentially half a season for the Vikings.
Yep.
It's not like he's had a Travis Kelce 6-year resume. The dude he did it for half a season.
No,
and now he's the highest paid tight end.
My thing
Congratulations.
is
get your bag, TJ. Get your bag.
I don't care whether or not the market is the way it is. If I'm the Vikings GM, I'm still not going to re-sign TJ Hawkinson to be the highest paid tight end in NFL history. I'm sorry, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, you have Justin Jefferson that you said needs to re-sign. But the whole part I love about all of this is they're not going to be able to rebuild. And Brad Holmes, time and time again, is making the GMs in the NFC North shoot themselves in the foot. What did he do last year's draft? He traded up with the Minnesota Vikings and took Jamison Williams.
That's true, actually.
Who did they take? Lewis Sign. What happened to him?
Injured.
Their first-round pick injured, out the whole year. So now they're down a first-round pick. You know what he did in the same year? He's like, God, this TJ Hawkinson contract is going to be a headache. We are not going to be able to go where we want to go if we have to re-sign TJ Hawkinson. So you know what? Minnesota, do you want to take that problem off our hands? Take it. So now they have that headache. But my whole thing with this, and I'm kind of a question for you, would you rather sign a TJ Hawkinson type of player, or would you, especially the condition that Minnesota's in, go get another running back? Like Jonathan Taylor was available. I would much rather spend that money on Jonathan Taylor than TJ Hawkinson, or any running back for that matter, just because the plain fact of it is, a tight end is just an extension of the running game and the receiving game. Is an extra blocker, extra receiver. Your running back pretty much is your running game outside of the offensive line, obviously, but I don't see the impact that a tight end really has. I get Travis Kelce was a huge reason for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. There's not been another tight end in NFL history like Travis Kelce.
Right.
Gronk with the Patriots, Tom Brady was his quarterback, and they had stellar defenses with Bill Belichick, and they're beating up on a weak AFC East. So I get that there have been impactful tight ends throughout the NFL with Super Bowl teams, but as a consistent basis, tight ends really have no impact on Super Bowl runs. I'm sorry.
And the point that I made on a previous show is that with guys like Travis Kelce, by year 4, 1,000-yard season, first-team All-Pro. George Kittle, by year 4, he was a multiple 1,000-yard season, first-team All-Pro. Mark Andrews, by year 4, was 1,000-yard season, first-team All-Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, Rob Gronkowski, by his 4th season, I think had multiple 1,000-yard seasons, or maybe just one, multiple first-team All-Pros. TJ Hawkinson does not have 1,000-yard season and does not have an All-Pro. He's made a couple of Pro Bowls, but still, he's not that guy. I don't think he's ever going to be that guy. And I didn't mean to take away time from you, Broder. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I think about it in a similar way as Lucas, or at least that's sort of what excites me the most, that these trades, these moves that Brad Holmes keeps making within the division are so heavily tiered towards the Lions. We think even the Brian Branch trade in the draft this year, we traded up from 48 to 45 with the Packers to get Brian Branch. When we took Jamison Williams, it was kind of reported that the Packers were interested in him, and they settled for Christian Watson later in that first round. So just the way Brad Holmes is going about all his deals with the GMs around the league, but especially being able to make deals like this in division, it seems crazy, but he's pulling it off.
It seems like a little, predetermined, or he's like, he's kind of thinking like, all right, I'll trade you Hawkinson, knowing that you're going to have to pay this man.
He's making Tony Soprano moves.
There's reasoning behind it. JB, what do you think? And again, it's not that are you surprised TJ got a deal, because clearly he was going to get a deal, but deserving.
I mean, I think Minnesota sees his value somehow, some way. That's why they basically reset the market for him as of right now. But as far as it goes for us, I mean, Sam just rattled off the stats. Like, I don't know why you're paying this guy if he's not producing like a Travis Kelce, hell, like a George Kittle at least.
Because the half season sample size, the guy was a monster, but you're paying a guy on half a season.
And he doesn't stay healthy for the whole season.
Half a season's worth of value.
But the Vikings also were handcuffed, I guess, at the same time, because you can't let him walk for nothing. And he wanted to be the highest paid tight end. But this goes back to why'd you trade? You knew this was going to happen. You traded for TJ, and we heard the reports. He wants to break the market. He wants to be the highest paid tight end in the history of tight ends. Like, Minnesota knew what they were doing. So I can't, they were going to do it regardless. But this all started the moment they made that trade, Lucas.
But it's not, we just had, how many tight ends went in the first 3 rounds? 5, 6? Like, they could have easily avoided it. They knew this was coming. Why don't you do that? But this is just poor management. Everything the Vikings have done up to this point has been poor management. Their whole defense is gone. Your first pick in the NFL draft is a wide receiver when you already have the best one. Now, I think Jordan Addison's going to be nice, but for the long-term longevity of this Vikings team, they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. Because TJ Hawkinson, I think this year he might have been healthy most of the season, but before that, he can't stay healthy, and I don't expect him to. I get that he stayed healthy this year, but is he actually going to keep that up?
Well, that's the other
just keep
part.
Getting older.
That's the other part, too, and people chiming in here. Austin Harris says he's going to be the second option behind JJ because Thielen left. CJ Snyder said, got to factor in projected cap, too. It's fine. Speakeasy says he's a bigger part of the Vikings offense than he ever was here. That's true. All I'm saying is let's come
I'm happy with that.
Let's check back with the Vikings in 3 years, shall we?
Well, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Right now, it looks great. Let's check back with him in 3 years. Let's see how it's going. Because for me, at least, TJ Hawkinson will not have as much of an impact on winning than other players, like a Christian Darrisaw, like a JJ. Like, there's more important positions. This is how I feel about the NFL. You may differ, but I'm not paying a tight end $17.125 million unless you're giving me 1,000 yards. And again, he had a great half a season last year, but we'll see. Over the next 3 years, we'll see. Maybe Hawkinson is a 1,000-yard receiver for the next 3 years, and I'll sit back and say, you know what? Fine. But we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
He has to at this point. Go be an all-pro, TJ.
Yeah, and I would argue that between both teams, he actually had a very good full season. And I get what Easy's saying about how he's a bigger part of the Vikings offense than he ever was here.
Which is true.
Yes, and my thing is, it's not necessarily going to be because of TJ Hawkinson that the Vikings, I think, are going to really take a dip in the next couple of years. It's because they have so many other problems defensively. And TJ Hawkinson being there, he's not that type of tight end that's going to get you a couple of wins by himself, unless he really comes into his own in like year 5, year 6, year 7. But like I just laid out earlier, most of the greatest tight ends of all time, by like year 2, year 3, or year 4, they are already monsters. And speaking of, well, I don't even know how I can segue into that. We have one of the guys on that show in this room right now. Jeff, can you tell us about a new Woodward Sports show, Woodward in Maine?
They'll be breaking down the T.J. Hawkinson stuff, I'll tell you that. And all things Detroit Lions related. Woodward Sports Lions reporters Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, who's joining us, and Detroit legend Terry Foster, Uncle T, are sitting at the corner of Woodward and Main Street, bringing you the latest inside information on the Detroit Lions. Tune in to watch the most in-depth reporting and breakdown of the game, the players, and preparing you for the next time the Lions hit the gridiron. Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show, Detroit's first stop for game day. And for people now, Eduardo says who will hit 1K first, Laporta or TJ? I mean, it's going to be TJ probably. I mean, Laporta.
I don't think TJ's ever going to hit 1,000.
Well, if there's one, maybe TJ. But to your point, Lucas, this is. I'm going to say this as my last point. You guys can take it away. I'll take Laporta at 1.7, $1.8 million. That's it.
100%.
That's all my point is. Look at the best tight ends in the league. Dallas Goedert, where was he drafted? Not the first round.
Second.
Dawson Knox, where was he drafted?
Like the fifth or something.
George
like
Kittle,
that.
where was he drafted?
Third.
Kelsey, where was he drafted?
She's like a third, too.
Darren Waller, where was he drafted?
Wait,
like sixth round.
Yeah.
You guys see where I'm going with this. So
Yeah.
if Brad Holmes is playing chess, not checkers, and Neil had a rant yesterday about it. Like, the dude sees this and thinks, you know what? I'll get a rookie in Sam Laporta who will fill some of that void. We'll have a tight end by committee because they made that work last year after TJ left for significantly less money. It's a great move. I love it. Shout out to Brad Holmes for that. We'll go to break. When we get back, we'll get into a discussion here about Jahmyr Gibbs being a breakout player, according to Peter Schrager. I mean, Peter Schrager, he's been showing love to the Lions. He showed us on Good Morning Football the other day the question that Gabby had for Mark Wahlberg, and now he has Jahmyr Gibbs as a breakout player. And we're going to break down that and much more. But Sam Flannel, the GM of the Vikings, I think took a trip to Dispo. Could you tell everybody about Dispo?
Brad Holmes certainly did not, that's for sure. Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. With over 12 locations, including their new location that is now open in Whitmore Lake, Dispo is never far away. Join Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and the Woodward Heavyweights broadcasting live at the Whitmore Lake location on Friday, September 8th. Located on 50 North Territorial Road, Whitmore Lake, Michigan. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Cannabis!
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Good. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called
Mark White!
It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Plenty more to get to. Don't forget to hit the like button. We're only, 25 away from 100. We're climbing. We'll try to hit it before the end of the first hour. My question is, do you think Mark White would sign TJ to the highest paid tight end in history?
Flexibility matters to him. So I think down the long road, I don't think he would.
Yeah,
I don't think
Mark
he would.
White. I don't know. I don't know if he would. And for this poll right here, are you surprised by the T.J. Hawkinson deal? 50-50, yes and no. That's crazy. Never seen such a more balanced poll. 50-50. Wow. Let's get into the Peter Schrager stuff, Lucas. You could throw that graphic up. He had 10 breakout players, and we'll go through them all. Obviously, you see the appearance there to number 3, Jahmyr Gibbs. Lions rookie running back this year, drafted at number 12. Lions traded back to get him. But look at the other players. Number 1 on that list, Kenny Pickett.
My baby.
Are you guys
Flannel's boy?
No. I want to ask this question because I don't want to make it just a Jahmyr Gibbs segment. We'll get into him in a little bit, but just Kenny Pickett. Like, are you guys sold on Kenny Pickett?
I mean, I'm sold that he can make a leap from last year. My thing about Kenny Pickett, it's not that he can't be a very, very good player with weapons like George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. I think he's got it's set up for him to be very, very good. My problem is that when people act like he was good last year, 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, while the defense kept giving up 10 and holding them the whole game, and Kenny Pickett had 1 drive at the end of the game, and everyone's like, he's so clutch. No, but he can get better. He can be better. That's the point.
It's hard. I mean, he has nowhere else to go but up. I mean, after last year, he was fine. But, of course, Peter Schrager thinks he's the number 1 candidate to be a breakout player. Jalen Phillips, who I like a lot in Miami.
He's a 10-sack guy.
Yeah, he is, truly. Number 3.
Next to Christian Wilkins.
Oh, no doubt. And now they got Bradley Chubb.
Yep.
Nice.
Manuel Ogbah off the edge.
Yep. And now, number 3, they got running back Jahmyr Gibbs up there. Peter Schrager does. And again, Jahmyr Gibbs is getting a lot of love. And I'm going to keep saying this. The first 6 games are the time to watch Jahmyr Gibbs. Like that, to really see his receiving game, what he can do in the passing game. That's the most important without J-Mo. And I keep saying I have question marks about this wide receiver core. But what helps that is the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs is such a good receiver. And you know, Ben Johnson's the one who told him, we want to get more out of you in the passing game. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs being on this list, he's higher on this list than Trent McDuffie, who's a pretty good corner. I think he'll be fine. Demario Douglas, Pop, never heard of him. So Lucas, usually you know guys.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Flan, but I think he's their speedster who's kind of been going off in the preseason.
Demario Douglas.
He runs like a high 4.2, I think.
And then you got Jalen Petrie. Nice, out of Baylor. Nice, man. He's a dog. 7, Greg Dulcich. Who's actually he's kind of underrated. He's just like a solid tight end, but again, a guy who's how much is Greg Dulcich making? Because he's pretty solid. 8, Cam Taylor-Britt, who Lucas loves a lot, and rightfully so because he showed a lot last year, even playing against the Chiefs. I mean, he was all over the field. Safety Tony Adams, who's getting a lot of love in New York, and then of course at number 10, Jahan Dotson, who I think should be higher.
Yeah,
I like Jahan Dotson.
I would put him over Demario Douglas.
Well. It's a
too.
weird list because you see Jahmyr Gibbs on it, but you don't see Bijan Robinson. Do they just assume he's going to walk in and be a 1,200-yard rushing guy?
Probably.
Like it's a strange list, I would say.
Yeah, and that's probably what they're basing it off of. Maybe less known guys, but even Jahmyr, though, I mean, people expect him to be pretty good. So to your point, Sam, I mean, maybe you'd have Bijan, but people just assume he's going to be Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and all types of stuff. So, but the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs is on this list, your reaction to that, Sam Flannel, the amount of love he's getting this offseason.
Well, before I give my reaction, where did Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch also go to college before they went to the Lions? Alabama, of course. And we got the Woodward Sports Show for the love of college football. Do you love college football? Well, Woodward Sports loves college football. That's why we're bringing you Woodward Sports for the love of college football pregame show, the latest WSN show to tune into on the YouTube channel. Spencer Raxter, myself, Flannel Sam Easy, and many more get you ready for college football kickoff premiering live tomorrow, this Saturday. I will actually be on the show from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you are a Sparty, Wolverine, or a fan of that other team we won't mention, Lucas, we welcome you all to start your day of loving college football with Woodward Sports Network every week. Don't encourage him, Jeff. All right, so my reaction to Jahmyr Gibbs being on this list is that I don't want to be mean, but he better. He was the number 12 overall pick. He was the Lions' first draft pick that they made this year. They traded back to get him. They got some capital. That's all well and good. I think he has to show out this year to really reward that faith. But I also think there's a pathway for him to do it. Number 1, he is playing behind one of the best offensive lines in all of the NFL. And I think having David Montgomery there, who I think is going to get the majority of the carries, it might hurt his usage, at least when it comes to rushes, but it might also help his durability because he doesn't have to come in and be the bell cow, and I think some explosive runs are going to inflate his yards per carry and really show his value. And also how good he is as a receiver. We talk about the first 6 weeks with Jamison Williams being out as a time where there's a lot of questions about the receiving core, especially if somebody goes down. Well, if Jahmyr Gibbs is a guy that can be one of the best receiving running backs in the NFL from day one, which I think is possible, then a lot of those questions will have been answered, and he'll get a lot of targets. I think he'll have a lot of receptions, and he might even turn some of those receptions into big plays, maybe even a 50 or 60-yard touchdown or two. He is certainly capable of that. And if all of those things happen, then Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, even though I don't think he's a serious contender to be Offensive Rookie of the Year, he'll get some votes. He will greatly impact this Lions offense, and it will further prove that this backfield that they have now of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs is much better than Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, which of course we're hoping that Jahmyr Gibbs stays healthy. But like I said before, if David Montgomery is your guy to get, I would say the slight majority of the carries, I think it'll help Jahmyr Gibbs be healthy. So there definitely is a pathway for him being one of the breakout stars in the NFL.
Yeah, especially how, running backs are being traded in today's NFL. For Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, he has to go out and produce. You're drafted at 12th overall, especially for him. I think the floor, like scrimmage yards wise, and I'll let everybody else chime in on this, I think 1,100 is like the floor. Like, I think he can get 550 or 600.
Yeah.
Like, in this offense, without Jamo the first 6 games, Jahmyr is going to be utilized. The biggest question, to Sam's point, and the biggest question I have, guys, is can he stay healthy? And we'll find out.
I mean, obviously with the running back, injury is always going to be a concern. But I think what Jahmyr Gibbs, how his impact is going to be felt the most is, especially like, for example, week 1, Kansas City, the Lions are going to be feeding David Montgomery because it's going to keep Patrick Mahomes. I don't have to go down that whole rant, but it's just going to help keep the Chiefs' offense off the field.
Right.
But now when you bring in Jahmyr Gibbs, it's such a change of pace. You're going from a bruiser to just flat-out speed. And especially with Jamison Williams being out, that is going to be so essential for this offense because those quick, like in the 2-minute drills before the half, if you need a field goal real quick, anything, Jahmyr Gibbs can be that third down back on every play. And even if you want to put David Montgomery in for pass protection, cool. Now put Jahmyr Gibbs in the slot. Put him in the slot and Amon-Ra St. Brown on the slot on the other side. It's going to open this offense up so much. And the fact of the matter is Jahmyr Gibbs could very easily be a breakout player, but I don't think this Lions offense is really dependent on it. And that's what's so nice about this pick is such a luxury where if David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs goes down, they're both going to be fine to replace each other. And then if they don't, well, good thing you have Amon-Ra St. Brown and arguably the number 1, 2, 3 offensive line in the league, however you want to rank
it. And Broder, I want to go to you on this, and I don't know if this is I don't even want to say this is a hot take, but I think this season, Jared Goff's safety blanket besides Amon-Ra is Jahmyr Gibbs.
You might be right there.
That's what I think. And I think in games where, to Lucas and Sam's point, like how much he's being utilized, obviously you want him to stay healthy. David Montgomery's going to get a lion's share of the carries. But like Lucas said, you can have them both on the field. Checkdowns are going to go to Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, like the guy, because again, he's a guy that can create yards after catch, but is that out of pocket? I think he'll be the safety blanket besides Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I like guys like Josh Reynolds, who's comfortable with Jared Goff, but I think you're right on the money there. Jared Goff last year, in the Lions in general, his yards per pass wasn't very high, but his yards per catch. So the receivers, once they catch the ball and get yards after catch, was closer to like 15, 16, 17, 18 yards per catch. So he's one of those guys who looks to check down. He looks for short, intermediate routes to let his weapons go, then do the work after the catch. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to fit right into that model. And you think about the downside of playing the Chiefs week 1 is that they have all offseason to prepare for you. But when you have a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, a rookie, it makes it that much harder to game plan around how are we going to use him? How are we going to use him without Jamo? To be on this list, to be one of the breakout players, it makes sense. He's one of the few he's one of the few draft picks that's going to have an offense. He's going to be one of the primary options in an offense, so he's going to get usage. I think you're right. He could be one of those safety blankets.
JB, you dropping a couple dollars on? I know you love dropping a couple dollars on Lions players or Lions doing things. Jahmyr Gibbs, Offensive Rookie of the Year. What are his chances? You like him, or you think it's Bijan's to lose?
It is Bijan's to lose, but I will tell you this: Jahmyr Gibbs definitely has the best chance and best opportunity to take that over right now. If he stays healthy throughout the season and somehow, some way can mix in those rushing yards plus receiving yards, I think he has a very fair shot at taking this award. And no disrespect to Bijan, but I mean, speed kills in this league, and he has a different skill set, better than Bijan, in my opinion. So,
especially in the passing game. What's up, brother?
I just want to say real quick, number 9 on that list, Tony Douglas, teammate of Kirby Joseph back at Illinois. Think about that, the defensive backs that are coming out of Illinois. Ryan Walters, the former defensive coordinator at Illinois, now the head coach at Purdue. They got Kirby Joseph. This guy, Tony, what was it? Douglas?
Tony Adams.
Tony Adams. Sidney Brown. Devon Witherspoon. Like, damn, Illinois was pumping out some DBs.
Yeah, they are. Even guys that played wide receiver then turned to a DB.
Right.
And Kirby Joseph.
Wow.
So that's how it works. I think Devon Witherspoon, no one's really talking about him to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
No, and I think, obviously we saw it last year with Sauce. And did Pat Surtain win it too?
No.
No, yeah, that's it. But I think it's really hard for a corner, especially, you want to talk about a hard position to play year one in the NFL. Fucking cornerback, man. You're going up against the best athletes in the world.
Don't tell Keyshawn and Playmaker.
Yeah,
they'll walk off the set.
To say that wide receiver is tougher than corner is just ignorant.
I'm pretty sure Devon Witherspoon's injured, by the way.
Oh, well, it is what it is. Yeah. Richard Sherman, I agree with you. Corner's hard to play. It just is. Let's go to break. When we get back, I want to get into, speaking of breakout players, another NFC North player that the people are going to love that we talk about. For people that haven't watched, Amon-Ra St. Brown and his brother, how do you pronounce his name?
Equanimous?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Equanimous St. Brown. They have a podcast. I love it. They always banter with each other, but they talked about a certain somebody breaking out or how they look. You're going to want to see this when we come back. But before we do that, I got to hear about our friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Absolutely, and you can let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs, 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Have you ever argued with your little brother? How about some random guy you're stuck in a room with for an hour? Flannel Sam and Spencer Raxter are at each other's throats. One Spartan alumni and one Walmart Wolverine are locked in a room with nowhere to hide. You're welcome. Whether it's go blue or go green, you can go to woodwardsports.com for all the action. Coming soon to a device near you.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or go online at fairwaypacking.com.
Now you got me hungry, bro.
Oh, yeah.
The Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. 5 likes away from 100. What is Sam Flannel doing?
I like the beat drop. Dude, I was in the sound booth for a very, very long time, kind of taking turns with JB on different shows, so I know these songs backwards and forwards, so I knew that drop was coming. And JB, honestly, ever since I've been on the morning show, you played banger after banger after banger
JB,
after banger.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, he's always cooking in that booth. Sam, you kind of were giving me like a mime vibes right there. I don't know what that was.
He had the... Let's go!
I'm very animated when I hear music that I like. You should see me at a concert or at a club.
That would be terrifying. Seeing Flannel at like a heavy metal concert, losing his mind.
Ooh, man.
Just spitting out stats.
Defending the Beatles at all costs, even though they're not playing.
Oh, gosh. All right, you can play.
Speaking of out of their minds.
Yeah, speaking of out of their minds, take a look at this clip.
Justin Fields, I love to talk about him, what he did last year, the rushing yards, whatever. Is he going to take the next step throwing?
Justin's been looking better, more composed, second year on the offense. Stop blinking your eyes like that.
By the way, Amon-Ra St. Brown gets it. I love him. I really do. He's not petty, but you could tell it's like little brother energy with he's just going back and forth. He's like blinking his eyes. Look at
him. I'll just let him freeze for a second.
Justin's been looking better, more composed.
Look at his eyes.
On the offense. Stop blinking your eyes like that.
He's like, yeah, that's cat.
Look at the face at the end. He's like, yeah, that ain't it.
And that was from our friends at the 33rd team. Thanks for that. They put that on their socials on Twitter. You can follow them at 33rd team. But I guess my reaction to that, this Justin Fields stuff, and I want to bring it up again, and I put a poll in the chat, is Justin Fields him? 82% hell nah.
Oh, Jesus.
And now that we got, what? Oh, Sam Flannel. You know what? I'll go to you first.
You're giving up for Fields now?
I'll go to you first, Sam Flannel.
Okay. All right.
How fearful should Lions fans be of Justin Fields and his development this season?
As for Justin Fields as an individual, they should be very fearful. And I know a lot of people are really, really not going to like this one, but I predict both things can be true. Let me butter the audience up a little bit before I drop the bomb.
Are these flannel
Butter
guarantees?
me up, baby.
These are flannel guarantees.
Okay.
I guarantee that the Detroit Lions will win this division, and fairly comfortably. But I also guarantee that by the end of the season, Justin Fields will be looked at as the undisputed best quarterback in the NFC North by the end of the season. And I don't think that's crazy at all. And let's work backwards a little bit. Does anybody think it has any chance to be Jordan Love?
Fuck no.
Do we?
God, no.
Do we pretty much know what Kirk Cousins is?
Mid.
Like, he's basically at his best, he's the 10th best quarterback in his league, and at the worst, he's like the 15th or 16th, right? Does anybody think that Jared Goff can be elite? Is Jared Goff as talented right now? Does he have as high of a ceiling as Justin Fields?
No.
I would think he's another one that at his best, he's like the 8th best quarterback in the league, and at his worst, he's like the 14th. I think Justin Fields really balls out this year because, and I've given a
so more than two 200-yard passing games? Is that what you mean?
Well, yes, and you know what? And I will say this: maybe I shouldn't have scoffed at the people who are a little bit skeptical because Justin Fields, he did not do a lot throwing the football last year. I will admit that he has a lot to show, and this is without a shadow of a doubt a put up or shut up season. And another thing that I know, Lucas, you agree with, and I think a lot of people in the audience, you will agree with it too if you just listen really closely. Justin Fields is much more talented than Jalen Hurts. Justin Fields is a better thrower of the football, and he's a better runner than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just happened to be in as good of a situation as you could possibly be in. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, the best offensive line in football, Miles Sanders, a great running game, all of that. And Justin Fields last year was in a situation, I mean, they had a decent run-blocking offense. Tevin Jenkins is really, really good. Darnell Mooney as your number one should not be it. And David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert is a pretty good running back duo, but still, it's not a Jalen Hurts-like situation. Oh, and by the way, in Jalen Hurts' defense performed a lot better than Justin Fields' so he was able to get more wins. Let me give you this stretch of football that Justin Fields played last year, and that's without DJ Moore. It's without Nate Davis. It's without Darnell Wright. It was with the situation last year. Justin Fields, between October 30th and November 13th. November 13th was that home game against the Lions in which they lost 31-30. Justin Fields, in those 3 games, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception throwing the football, 410 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns running the football, and he led his offense to 29 points, 32, and then 30 against Detroit at home, although he also gifted the Lions 7 with that horrible pick 6 to Jeff Okudah. But you know, we're just talking about, I have to include that if I'm going to be fair. That was a bad pick 6, but he played a phenomenal game other than that. The Bears were 0-3 in those games because their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. My point is that Justin Fields is actually very, very good. And next year he's got more weapons, he's got a better offensive line, and we'll see. And I don't think he will be tasked with running the football as much. Does he need to get better as a pure passer? Absolutely. Does he have a lot to show this year? Absolutely. Is it put up or shut up? Absolutely. If Justin Fields falls short of expectations and looks like he can't throw again, I will shut my mouth about Justin Fields and say that I was wrong. My point is that Justin Fields was not the main reason the Bears were such a dumpster fire last year. It was their pathetic defense, which was the worst in the league. You'll see, Justin Fields this year will be a dark horse MVP candidate and no doubt be looked at as the best quarterback in the NFC North. Take it away, people.
Flannel,
dark horse MVP. JB, what you got?
I was going to say, Flannel, is that something you believe you can bet on?
Oh, JB, tell us about who you can talk to, actually. The actual betting expert.
The actual betting expert. There is one man that you can go to, and that man is Booner of Woodward Sports. You have no fear. Booner is locking in all football season to bring you the best picks only on the WSN YouTube channel. Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 11:30 a.m. Premiering tomorrow, guys. You got to get on this. College football, he's got you. NFL, you know it. Woodward Bets, watch on the WSN YouTube channel tomorrow.
You know what I'm not betting on? Justin Fields winning MVP or being a dark horse.
That's dark horse. I'm not saying he's going to win.
Kenny Pickett's a dark horse.
No.
Hold on. Look at him freaking out.
He's giving that a Mount Rushmore.
And by the way, hold on.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm just saying that.
Speak your piece.
Do I actually believe Kenny Pickett's going to be a dark horse? No, but my point is, you could say that ish about anybody. Like, I'm sick. Dark horse MVP. Technically, Kenny Pickett is Mike Tomlin. I mean, I'm just making the case. Not saying he will be, but enough of this dark horse MVP for Justin Fields. It's ridiculous. You know what Justin Fields has shown? He's an elite runner of the football. That's true.
One of the best to ever do it from the quarterback position.
I'll give you that. From the quarterback position, that requires you to throw the football. He has 2 200-yard passing games. You're right. It is put up or shut up, and I'll tell you another thing, too. The Bears bet on Justin Fields as well. They had the number 1 pick. They could have taken a quarterback. They could have traded Justin Fields. You know what they said? No, we're going to trade the number 1 pick. I think rightfully so, because now they're all in on Justin Fields. Let's revisit this in a couple of years. Because if Justin Fields doesn't work out, and Bryce Young, hell, CJ Stroud.
Stop.
If either of these guys have successful NFL careers, we're going to look at the Bears. This is going to be another the Bears passed on so-and-so moment, right?
Sure.
We go back. They passed on Deshaun Watson. They passed on Patrick Mahomes. And now they got Justin Fields, who I think has a lot to prove. He does. And I think, to be fair, he has more talent than Kenny Pickett. I was kind of trolling a little bit with that one. But the whole point is, I don't give a damn about dark horse. The reality is, the Bears aren't winning more than 8 games. 8 is the ceiling for this team. I believe that. I don't think they have enough yet. And the other part of it is, I don't like their head coach, Matt Eberflus. I've been saying that since the day he was hired. I'm not sold on Matt Eberflus. But you got to think, though, for Fields, the biggest question mark is his passing ability. They got DJ Moore. To me, it's put up or shut up for Fields. I agree with you. But will he do it? Should Lions fans be fearful of him? Not at this point. Like, besides running the football, he's the one who threw a pick 6 to Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah, who's not even here anymore. So, you know what? For me, Justin Fields does not put fear in my eyes. Running the football, he does. Passing, I don't give a damn. He got a secondary that's upgraded. Even last year, they completely, pretty much eliminated Justin Fields for both those games. Running the football, they couldn't stop him. But passing the football, he was no threat to the worst secondary in the NFL. The worst secondary in the NFL, Justin Fields was not a threat. They got better. They ain't going to be scared of Justin Fields, Lucas. They're just not.
I'm siding with Flannel on this one. Not to the point of dark horse MVP in 2023. It's not where I'm going with it. Do I think Jared Goff is actively the best quarterback in the NFC North right now? Yes.
Agreed.
I think Jared Goff this season, and could at the end of the season, still, because I think Jared Goff could potentially play better than he did last year.
Sure.
Because he's getting Ben Johnson back. They're going to add more plays, add more wrinkles. They got more skill set on offense. I think Jared Goff could potentially be the best quarterback even this year. But we cannot deny Justin Fields' pure talent. And I'm just saying, I think he's on the same level as a rusher, as a quarterback as Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I also think Justin Fields has a much better arm than Lamar Jackson.
That's undisputed.
The thing that Justin Fields struggled with was going through progressions and having enough time and kind of trying to do too much. The game is now going to slow down. They brought in DJ Moore, who we talked about earlier, Flannel, when you brought it up, or I think it was Broder actually, when you talk about what does Jared Goff do? He takes those quick check downs and he lets his receivers make plays for him. And that's exactly what the Bears are trying to do with Justin Fields. They know that Justin Fields is not a pinpoint quarterback. He's not going to be able to make those tight window throws. But what you can do is replace that by getting to production that those tight window throws would be. I'll have it DJ Moore yards after the catch, Cole Kmet yards after the catch. Don't want to jump all up to Chase Claypool, which I don't like the chances of, but that's what they're going to be doing. It's going to happen every once and again. I think this offense is being built around Justin Fields' weaknesses and trying to turn them into strengths. So I could very easily see Justin Fields. He's definitely going to take a step regardless in the passing game. Just DJ Moore within itself and Darnell Wright will improve that.
Look
now,
at this. Oh,
8 wins. That's where I'm at, Jeff. I think
Yep.
I'm siding in the middle of both you guys. I think Justin Fields is going to take a step. They're going to get 8 wins. Lions are winning the NFC North still. Jared Goff, I still think, will be the best quarterback by the end of the season. But now when we talk about the next season, Justin Fields is going to take strides. Whether we want to admit it or not, he will. That's just what quarterbacks do, and I think Justin Fields is too talented of a quarterback. If you're in on C.J. Stroud, there's nothing to be out about Justin Fields because he's more mobile. He was making the same reads that C.J. Stroud was doing in college. The same reads. The same exact ones. And if you go back and watch his film at college, he has a not as accurate arm as C.J. Stroud, but a stronger one. So the Bears are going to try to manipulate it. Will they have success? We will see. I'm going to predict they'll have somewhat success, but not the success they're fully expecting.
Keep that same energy, Lucas.
I will. And just like Flannel said, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to admit that I'm wrong because there's nothing more freeing than admitting that you're wrong.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Very honorable of you, Lucas, to say that. Matt Broder, I want to go to you on this. Jake says, what's worse than throwing a pick six to Okudah? Not a pick six, but a pick to Hutch under zero pressure. What do you think about Justin Fields, Matt Broder? What do you think about him?
Who knows? You talked about striking fear into the Lions. I think there is a little fear that we should be aware. To me, until the Lions prove that they can contain a mobile quarterback, Justin Fields worries me. Even this offseason, even this preseason, like when we've had mobile quarterbacks, the Lions defense hasn't performed so well. And
Zach Wilson.
Hold on,
the Jets last year.
So you're scared of his legs, not his arm.
I am.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, just to
That's
go
fair.
on top of everything you guys have said about what he needs to develop, I just want to point out that, man, this defense hasn't proved itself against mobile quarterbacks, and we got a couple on the schedule. So that's the part of his game that worries me.
Dirty South Wolverine says, y'all sleeping on Love. I don't know, but something says he's going to put up stats. He knows the offense in and out and can throw the rock. If I'm being as a passer, Jordan Love can at least just do his job. Like, I don't think they're expecting Jordan Love to be Aaron Rodgers. They're not. And I think Jordan Love can be a game manager, and they can win like 7 games, 8 games. And I think I'm not out on Jordan saying he's going to be a bust. I'm curious to see what Jordan Love looks like. But Justin Fields has shown he's dynamic. But passing the football, man, he's got a lot to prove this season, and he'll have the opportunity. He's got weapons. Put up or shut up for Fields. Is that true? Is that fair?
I think.
Come on.
Listen, he's still on his rookie contract.
He's in his third year.
Put up or shut up is when they finally have that complete team. Put up or shut up will be next year.
He's got DJ Moore,
no one
Cole
is expecting.
Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool.
You're not wrong, but no.
Put up or shut up.
Around the NFL, do you think people are expecting the Bears to go to the Super Bowl this year? Let alone
No, but they're expecting him to have more than 2 200-yard passing games.
Okay, so that's not putting up or shutting up. That's just going out and performing. That's what he has to do. He has to take a natural stride. Putting up or shut up will be like next year when it's like, all right, who's going to win the North?
If he comes
Lions
out,
or Bears?
If he comes out and has a similar season to what he did this year, what are your thoughts on Justin Fields?
Then it's getting on bust watch majorly. Then that's why I'm saying, like, okay, now it's put up or shut up, because then he's going to be getting towards the end of his contract. They're still just going to be, they're going to add more talent on the defensive side next year through the draft and free agency. That's why I think, is this an important year for Justin Fields? Absolutely. I'm not saying that. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders. But I think if he does fail, he's still going to have the next year to follow it up, and that's when it's put up or shut up.
And let me just be clear very, very quick. I'll keep it brief. When I say put up or shut up, I don't mean the Bears have to win the division.
No.
Justin Fields has to be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL or it's a failure. I'm talking about, like Lucas, tangible improvement. If he has the same struggles passing the football this year, but DJ Moore doesn't go down and their offense is relatively healthy, then I will have major questions, and I will temper my expectations of him ever being a great quarterback. But to Lucas's point, maybe in year 4, we're talking about Bears got to make the playoffs. Justin Fields has to throw 25, 30 touchdown passes. We're not there yet. He just has to show improvement because there are some major red flags, which you pointed out that I can't defend from last year.
And again, our smart audience, they're chiming in as well, and they feel the same way. Be ruthless as dynamic. That's what you call a guy who can't break 200 yards a game. Peter Dargis says if you say Fields is MVP quality, then it's put up or shut up. I agree with that. Like, if he's a dark horse MVP, go out and perform. I don't want to hear it.
That wasn't out of my mouth.
The media, at least, is saying it. And for this one, Pump, mid-grade Lions fan, I'm more afraid of Fields as a player rather than a thrower, which I agree with that.
That's very fair.
Broder is spoken very. He made a great point about that. I'm scared of his legs. Like, I'm scared because Lions have struggled with
Was
that.
Broder well-spoken?
Let's go to break.
Smoking mics.
You guys are a bunch of sickos, dude. Yes, he is well spoken. I mean, what do you want me to do?
But can we at least admit this, that Justin Fields' legs will allow him to make plays with his arms?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. And when Justin Fields escapes out of the pocket, now you have a guy like DJ Moore, who's a very smart football player that will help Justin Fields make plays with his arms. And that's why I'm saying just silly things like that we're like, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's going to make a difference. And especially when the Lions are competing to win, or not, I think they're going to win the NFC North regardless, but when they're trying to compete for a top seed in the NFC, when you just talk about one game, that can matter. We all remember when Golden Tate got tackled at like the inch line week 3 against the Atlanta Falcons. And then you go down to the end of the season, that ultimately the Lions needed one more game to win, they would have been in the playoffs. So that's why these games scare me, because if you slip up and you go sleepwalking in against the Bears and Justin Fields puts up 250 in the air and 75 on the ground, that can make a difference in how the season transpires.
And Mark says, I'll take a guy that knows what he's doing under center and has an accurate arm and can deliver the football on time than a clown who can't throw the ball and runs. And I'll say this, for Fields, his path to victory, and I know this is going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths because they watched him last year, but he needs to be like a Russell Wilson. Like somebody that doesn't depend on running the football, but he has it in his arsenal.
That's fair.
Like, they're even asking Josh Allen to run less. Like, that's not the way. That's not the way things are going.
You're spot on.
That's just, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll revisit this. That's why I can't wait for the NFL season, man. I can't freaking wait because all these questions will have answers. But speaking of Justin Fields, those big boys up front are going to have to protect him. They just are. By the way, we also got our friends at Big Boy protecting us. Look at that. Look at the dishes they got. The hot chicken sandwich, the pretzel, bacon, cheeseburger. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger, Craven Chicken. Try the Dolly chicken sandwich or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries with third chili cheese and loaded baked potato fries.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays to join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. How would you like to landscape like a legend? Register for your chance for 4-time Stanley Cup winner Darren McCarty 4 to work your crew for a day. That's right, Darren McCarty on your zero-turn weed whipping and edging for your favorite clients. Sign up today at OutdoorEquipco.com. That's OutdoorEquipco.com.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate every single one of you for tuning in on this Friday morning. You're ending the week with us in the morning. That's big time. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to hit the like button on the stream. It does help the show, helps the algorithm, helps the channel. 47,000 subscribers for Woodward Sports.
Oh, yeah.
And we're climbing, trying to hit 50K.
We
hopefully.
appreciate every one of you guys, whether you agree with me, Flannel Jeff, or not, JB Broder as well. We appreciate you guys.
No doubt about it. More Lions to get to. ESPN came out with an article which I thought was interesting, talking about breakout players in the NFL. They had breakout players for the NFC North, and we're going to go through them. Let's do the Lions last.
You want to do the Lions last?
Yeah.
You want first?
Well, surprise me. We'll throw anybody up. We'll react to it.
Let's do it with the team we were just talking about.
Let's do it.
The Bears.
It's a breakout theme show today. Look at this. NFC North, the Chicago Bears. Don't be surprised if quarterback Justin Fields keeps running. And this is by Dan Graziano, senior NFL national reporter on ESPN here. He typed this article up, and this is his breakout for the Chicago Bears. Don't be surprised if quarterback Justin Fields keeps running. He says, what I'm hearing, I asked the Bears official if the team wanted Fields to run less this season to avoid putting himself in harm's way. The response was, well, we want him to get hit less, which indicates it might not be as simple as running him less. What does it say? In watching the 55 sacks Fields took in 2022, it seems as if a lot of them were the result of indecisiveness in the pocket, which is understandable for a young quarterback and should be something that he gets better. That gets better this year. The acquisition of DJ Moore has been a major improvement for the receiver room, and that upgrade plus another offseason of work should help this passing game evolve. But Fields isn't just a good runner. He is a historically special runner at the quarterback position, picking up 1,143 yards on the ground last year. Look for Chicago and Fields to keep finding creative ways to use his running ability as an asset that keeps drives alive and occasionally leads to really big scoring plays. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if this is your breakout, if he's going to keep running, so be it. So be it, Sam Flannel.
All right. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
It's not the way I would, I don't know. I'm mixed about this because he's so dynamic, but there's going to be a time where Justin Fields that takes one hit. But also there's the point that I always hear about Lamar. He got injured last year in the pocket.
Sure.
He didn't get injured running the football.
Well, that's the thing. I think Justin Fields can still be effective in running the football, maybe even have another 1,000-yard season and not take as many hits as he did last year because like this article said, and like any of us saw watching him play, a lot of the times he took hits because he was trying to do too much. He held onto the ball a really, really long time. A lot of that was because, his offensive line would break down in pass protection. He'd have to run for his life. But also he felt like he had to do too much. And I think this year he needs to kind of get over those tendencies and maybe just trust his weapons a little bit more, those short, quick passes like to DJ Moore. A couple of them he hit in the preseason in which DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert did all the work. And those are the luxuries that I think will be available to Justin Fields this year, and I hope he utilizes them more because both things can be true. He can run the football very effectively again, and he can take significantly less hits. And to the surprise of no one, I'm counting on both of those things happening.
Let's go up the next one because we kind of just covered the Bears. Let's do another team.
Yeah, do you want to do Packers now?
Let's do it. Let's do Packers.
All right, let's get her up.
Okay, so the Green Bay Packers, Dan Graziano, breakout player. Let's see. Don't be surprised if this year A.J. Dillon overtakes Aaron Jones in the backfield. What I'm hearing, the Packers love Jones, and they love using Jones and Dillon in tandem. And Dillon did disappoint a bit last season when the Packers were imagining a bigger passing game role for him that never came to fruition. But Jones is 28, which is at the age which the number tells us running backs start to decline, which is crazy. And he played through some I can't read the word there. It's kind of far away there. But regardless, Dillon is 25 and fits better long-term with the young offensive core Green Bay is building around quarterback Jordan Love. At some point this season, it wouldn't be surprising if Dillon is starting to get a bigger share of the workload than Jones, who has one non-guaranteed year left on his contract after this one and carries an untenable $17.17 million salary cap charge for 2024. Of course, much of this charge, if the Packers find a way to trade for Jonathan Taylor, whom they were interested in. A.J. Dillon overtaking Aaron Jones. I don't hate that.
I do.
Why?
I mean, for the Lions' sake, I love it, but for the Packers' sake, I don't think it makes much sense.
You think Aaron Jones, he's such a great receiver, too. You can't imagine they could use both of them.
I mean, that's what they've been doing. I mean, A.J. Dillon, he's a big back. He has okay receiving ability. I think he's on the same level of receiver as like a Jamal Williams, and he's got no real burst. I think the only threat about A.J. Dillon is like near the goal oh my God, near the goal line or like on third down. I don't really think like third and short. I don't think he's a back that they really need to be worried about long term because he's one of those guys where it's like once he starts kind of declining, there's not going to be much left of him.
Right. I mean, what do you think? A.J. Dillon overtaking Aaron Jones?
I agree 1,000% with Lucas. Aaron Jones is one of the best running backs in the NFC, and he has proven to be that over the last few years. He's a guy you can count on for 5 yards a carry and 1,000 yards, and to be dynamic out of the backfield catching the ball. All I feel that A.J. Dillon ever is the guy that gets those in between the tackles carries and is your running back too. Jamal Williams as a backup is actually a very, very good comparison, although I think A.J. Dillon is a little bit bigger and a little bit more powerful. Yeah. But still, A.J. Dillon as your running back 1, I would love it as a Lions fan, but if you're the Packers, A.J. Dillon is not an RB1. No chance.
I'll tell you this. You can catch me and special WSN guests breaking down A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones when the Lions play the Green Bay Packers on the Lions pregame show. Sundays, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Episodes will be coming to you twice a week all season long on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel on Sundays. Like I said, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and Tuesdays from... Oh, excuse me. This is the wrong one. No, don't listen to me. It is 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. But again, whether you're screaming same old Lions or sipping the Kool-Aid, we preview the first episodes next Thursday. Again, before the Kansas City Chiefs game. I think we'll be on at 6 p.m. Join us all season long for an action-packed pregame experience, the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show.
Jeff always has to do his own read.
Yeah, well, it just makes the most sense, doesn't it? You know,
well, to you.
Yeah. I know, Broder, before the show, Broder's like, I don't know if I should do my own show. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, right.
As I do my own show. The common people think that
yeah,
way.
and Jack Harrington's Jeff doing his own read. Yeah, that's bad. I mean, the Hollywood stuff doesn't get any better by me doing that. I want to wait and then do the other two teams when we come back from break here. So before we go to break, I got to hear about our friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Absolutely. Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Check out Woodward Sports Network on YouTube. We've got the best sports coverage and the best personalities in Metro Detroit. So stop settling for the constant Kool-Aid and drinking and get the content that counts. Our experts know the inside scoop on the teams that are not afraid to share real opinions. So subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube today.
We're back. Plenty more to get to. We're in the second hour of the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We thank everybody for tuning in today into today's show. And also, don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And you can catch our podcasts on all podcast platforms. Morning Woodward Show, 5-star review. Sam Flannel, are you dancing? What was that?
I mean, I just really like the music.
I love calling out Sam when he's dancing. Let's get to the rest of the Let's get to the rest of the NFC North. We still got to get to the Vikings. We still got to get to the Lions. So let's do the Vikings first here.
You got it.
We'll break down what they think. Who the breakout player? There it is. Don't be surprised if Jordan Addison leads all rookie wide receivers in catches. Wow.
I could see it.
What I'm hearing, the Vikings offense will still center on Justin Jefferson. Wow, that's weird. No T.J. Hawkinson in this thread.
Oh, what do you know?
The Vikings offense will still center on Justin Jefferson because how could it not? But they drafted Addison in the first round for a reason, and he has nothing short of he's been awesome all summer. He offers an upgrade over what Minnesota got from a 32-year-old Adam Thielen last season, and he can help diversify the passing game and take it to another level in the second year under coach Kevin O'Connell. I wouldn't be surprising. That's an error right there.
Oh, thank God we didn't do that on our social.
To see Addison push the 80 catch mark in his rookie season, I think he could do that without cutting into Jefferson's production very much at all. Okay, well, and like Pistons fan 11 says, my guy, Vikings defense will still be bad. Okay, well, there you go. So if they're bad, they're going to be a lot of shootouts leading to Addison getting more catches. So, forgive me, the number one tight end in the league, T.J. Hawkinson.
Please.
He has to get his catches. So
put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on his name. Number one tight end by far in the National Football League. But regardless, Jordan Addison leading all rookie wide receivers and catches. I don't think I'd be shocked. I love Jordan Addison, man. I do.
I would honestly it would probably be my prediction gun to my head because I actually like Jackson Smith-Njigba and Quentin Johnston better as prospects, but they're going to different situations where they're not going to get the usage, and Jackson Smith-Njigba, he might not even play to start the year. But yeah, Jordan Addison, I'm going to piggyback this off of another bold prediction that I have, is that the Minnesota Vikings defense is going to, I think, be bottom 5 at best in the NFL in terms of scoring. And that means I think that Kirk Cousins actually might be top 5 in the NFL in passing yards, but that's not going to mean a whole lot because they're going to be playing from behind a lot.
The context around it.
Absolutely, because I think Justin Jefferson will put up his numbers. I think T.J. Hawkinson will have a very good year too. He better with the money he just got paid. But also Jordan Addison, he is going to be your wide receiver number 2. And I know you might disagree with this, Lucas, but I've always said this version of Jordan Addison I think is better than sub-30 Adam Thielen, like last year's version of Adam Thielen. I think it's at least close. I think Jordan Addison can at least have better production because Jordan Addison, he's going to get a lot of attention. He's arguably the best receiver in football.
Yep.
He's the most productive receiver in football, and you got to double team that man. And that means probably some one-on-one matchups for one Jordan Addison, and I think he's going to exploit it. I absolutely think this prediction is dead on.
And Braylon Edwards always says, man, playing that number 2 wide receiver, plenty of room to eat.
Yep.
So what do you think about it? Jordan Addison leading all rookie wide receivers and catches, Lucas.
Well, he'll be the number 3 receiver behind Hawkinson, but this is the one that I would have went with regardless. I think he's the best pure receiver in this draft outside of JSN, and I think he's much more explosive than JSN. And like we said, Vikings defense blows, and it's going to for a long time. They are not going to be able to sign anybody because they're going to most likely re-sign Justin Jefferson this season as well. They're relying on young secondary players, I wouldn't even say overage, just bad linebacker play, and it's going to be mid-defensive line play. So they're going to be chucking the rock probably every second and third down just to keep up in the game. They were on all these one-possession games last year. We'll kiss those goodbye. They're going to turn into like 2-possession games now.
Yeah.
So I think Jordan Addison's going to have a really nice rookie year because the situation he is in is going to help him out a lot. So, yeah, I don't like the Vikings, but one player I do like on their team is Jordan Addison. I think it was a good pick, just not the right one for the team and where they're at right now.
And Broder, too, I mean, you can't deny that Brian Flores, great defensive coordinator, great defensive mind, but you're essentially giving a gourmet chef dollar store ingredients at that point. So what do you think, though? Jordan Addison leading all rookie wide receivers and catches.
I think he's definitely in the top 3. I'm a big Cedric Tillman fan, wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. I think he's going to get a lot of those number 2, number 3 targets behind Amari Cooper, him and Donovan Peoples-Jones. I know I like that big body receiver, especially with an offense that has Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb, but Jordan Addison is certainly going to be there near the top.
JB, Jordan Addison?
Well, I mean, I did take him in fantasy, fantasy draft last night, so
I did too. Maybe there's a little bias here, but what do you think?
It's a little biased, but I mean, his skill set from college, kind of his resume from college, I should say, shows you that he could be that number 2 wide receiver for Minnesota that we're all hoping he be, or at least I'm hoping for my fantasy football team at least, because I don't want to say I took him early, but I probably took him a lot earlier than I should have. So
JB's playing chess with these other dudes in his league. I love it.
While we're talking to JB, where can you watch the games this weekend and every weekend with our very own Woodward Sports personalities, but kind of virtually?
And we're doing our first one today.
Absolutely, tonight.
We're showing up tonight, baby.
Oh, yeah. If you're anything like us, then there's nothing better to do on a fall weekend than to lock in hours of football. Well, now WSN can top that. Sit back, crack open a cold one, and line up your bets and tune in to watch college football all Saturday, every Saturday, and Lions football Sunday with your favorite WSN personalities. WSN, a live game watch party, is the latest show to hit the YouTube channel for WSN. Premiering tomorrow, you will be able to watch Michigan versus ECU with us, and then tune in for the Lions season kickoff against the Chiefs at Burrowhead on September 7th. Watch all season long on the WSN YouTube channel.
Let's get to the Lions, the breakout player.
Okay.
And we'll react to that one because I think it'll throw people off a little bit. It's not a player. It says, don't be surprised if Ben Johnson is the hot head coaching candidate. Well, I mean, today's Friday. There you go.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
The sky's blue. The sky's blue, Dan Graziano. But regardless, yes, Ben Johnson is the hot head coaching interview candidate in January. What I'm hearing, we're all hearing it, Dan Graziano. The Lions' 37-year-old offensive coordinator was on team's interview list this past January, but he politely declined the opportunities because he thought he could use more experience as a coordinator and liked what the team has going in Detroit. Johnson seems to have unlocked something with quarterback Jared Goff, who posted the second highest total QBR in the league from weeks 10 to 18 last year, only behind Patrick Mahomes, your guy, Sam Flannel, and threw 15 touchdown passes and no interceptions while the Lions went 7-2 over that stretch. Expectations are high for a big year in Detroit, and if Johnson and Goff can carry the momentum into this season, Johnson is going to get even more attention from head coach needy teams next offseason. Yeah, and I don't know about the breakout. I mean, Pistons fan, Ben Johnson already broke out. Like, the guy's already arrived.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stay consistent. I think he's the head coach of the Chargers next season.
And I think
that's the destination. To go coach Justin Herbert in L.A.,
well,
he's out.
And that kind of leads the discussion, I don't want to get into it now, of what would be best for the Chargers long term, for them to meet expectations and win a playoff game or to fall short and for Brandon Staley to get fired, because Ben Johnson working with that offensive talent, my goodness. But here's what I have a little bit of a problem with, and I know it's a little bit petty. You can tell sometimes that national writers don't really pay as close to the Lions as we do. Obviously, we're all drinking the Kool-Aid to some degree, but when it comes to Ben Johnson, I think there is no doubt that just as an offensive coordinator, he is the best in the NFL right now.
No doubt.
We're not including Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid because they're head coaches. We're just talking about offensive coordinators, because the Lions, Ben Johnson is the breakout for the Lions. We're basically saying, like Pistons Fans 11 said, he already broke out. He's basically in the same category then as like A.J. Dillon for the Packers and Jordan Addison, a rookie for the Vikings, and Justin Fields, who, even as a big fan of his, he's a lot of potential and he hasn't shown enough as a passer. Ben Johnson has already done broke out, and I say that for effect, because and at the end of this season, he is going to absolutely, I think he's already there. If you are a team in need of a head coach, you should basically just back up the Brinks truck for Ben Johnson. He already broke out. Do people remember, and I know you guys do, and I know we don't want to talk about this for too much longer, but in 2021, when Anthony Lynn was the offensive coordinator and Dan Campbell was the head coach, that offense was terrible. They were winless. They were staring down the barrel of a winless season. They were staring down the barrel of Dan Campbell getting fired. And then Dan Campbell made the right move. He got rid of Anthony Lynn, or he demoted him, and then he empowered Ben Johnson and worked with him as Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson as the passing game coordinator were reworking the offense and calling the plays. And the offense has basically never looked back since. And the offense was top 5 in the NFL in scoring last year. So yes,
right.
Ben Johnson already broke out, and I don't think there's much he can even show this year that would improve his stock, because they did enough last year. Maybe the team just needs to make the playoffs for him to get more national attention.
You know, I want to switch this because we know a lot about Ben Johnson.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't need to repeat.
Who do you think's going to break out?
There you go. Thank you, Lucas. That's where I was going with it. In Pistons fan, I'm aligned with Pistons fan, and I'm aligned with Eric Allen, because you guys know where I'm going with this. Josh Pascal.
Let's go.
Josh Pascal, baby. I think he's my breakout player. I like Josh Pascal a lot. He was kind of hurt most of last season, but he was a highly touted prospect. He's valuable because he can play inside, he can play outside, he can play the edge, he can play interior, whatever. You can move him anywhere on the defensive line, and the dude just does his job. Like, people love John Kaminsky because he's got heart and he does his job. He doesn't complain. He doesn't always show up in the stat sheet. I think Josh Pascal will be one of those guys as well. What about you guys? What about you, Lucas, brother? JB?
We talked about earlier one of the most, not easiest things, but something to take advantage of, being a number 2 wide receiver. Well, in my opinion, also being a cornerback like Jerry Jacobs, being a number 3 corner, he's going to eat this year, I think. He's been going up against the other team's wide receiver ones his whole career because he's been the best corner while he's been here. And that's not saying much, but still, it says something. So now the fact that he's going to be able to probably be in the slot a lot of the times, because when you have Sutton and Mosley on the outside, I'm sure there's going to be times when Branch is playing safety instead of Tracy Walker, etc. There's going to be times when Jerry Jacobs is on the field, and he's going to be going up against much lesser talented receivers than he's been going up in the past. And I think he's going to look really good this year. Another one that I could see is Aleem McNeil, but if one of you guys want to take that one, go for it.
I would go with
that's your guy.
Yeah, mine is 100% Aleem McNeil. I think this is the year where I know he's been a very, very good rotational player and even a starter in the last couple of years. I would say as a starting defensive tackle, he's been mid, but with like a sprinkle in of excellence at New York against the Giants. I think you see that a little bit more this year, and I think Aleem McNeil finishes the season with 5 sacks. That might even be good for third on the team. I think he's going to really break out this year.
Think about this, Broder. I know you got to get going soon because you're going down Allen Park. Yep. You're going to talk to going to talk to some very special people over there, which will be interesting. So can't wait for that to come out because that'll all be posted on our socials. So stay tuned for that. But Josh Pascal and Eric Allen says he was a higher-rated player in the SEC over the number 1 overall pick in Trayvon Walker.
Dude, I love Josh Pascal.
People are sleeping on Josh Pascal.
People are, and he's going to be a huge piece to this defense, almost in a way, and actually maybe a little more playmaking ability than a John Kaminsky last year. Just that guy who's always in the right spot, but you can get a little more production out of him in terms of, filling up the stat sheet from a defensive end. But I'll go to the other side of the ball, and I'm going to say Khalif Raymond. I think Khalif is going to have a breakout year on offense. I think Ben Johnson's going to figure out so many more ways to get him involved, especially in these first 6 games with J-Mo out.
He's getting a lot of love. People are saying he could be the second leading wide receiver on this team.
He might be. We have no idea how Ben Johnson's going to spread the ball around this offense, but Khalif's one of those guys. He's hard to cover man-to-man, and he's going to get a lot of one-on-one looks.
He's fast, man.
Khalif Raymond, believe it or not, led the NFL out of all the receivers in the NFL in man-to-man routes. He created the most separation. So
route runner,
statistically,
certified route runner.
He creates the most separation in the league out of all the receivers in the NFL. So
well, guess what?
Happen.
He's fast as hell, man. It's like he's running on Planet Fitness treadmills all the time.
Oh.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. The guy's got cardio for days. Let me tell you about our friends over at Planet Fitness, because Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anybody, and I mean anybody, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. Again, for more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness at www.planetfitness.com.
Winners, losers, pushes and draws, over-unders, prop bets, futures and spreads. Are you sick and tired of your picks being losers? Do you want to learn how to bet like a champion? Well, Woodward Sports searched the globe for the most dangerous man with a bet slip in his hand and gave him a show. Coming soon to Woodward Sports. Tune in every weekend as we introduce the greatest gambler to ever walk the earth.
Hi, I'm Booner, and I don't lose.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
The Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. Don't forget, they're currently accepting new enrollment. All you got to do to get your child enrolled at the Academy of Warren is go to academyofwarren.net for more information. Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. We're coming near the end here. The show flies by, man, when you're having fun. Broder was joining us for the first hour and a half. He's going down to Allen Park right now, so stay tuned for all the content that's going to be coming out. Brad Holmes is speaking, Ray Agnew speaking. A lot of people are speaking today. So, again, I can't wait for that information. We'll recap it all on Tuesday because Monday we have off. Best of show on Monday. But I want to bring up a little bit of college football because this weekend, man, it's getting real. Michigan State plays tonight against Central Michigan. Then you have Michigan, Sam Flannel. Michigan and that brutal Big Ten.
Jesus Christ.
For those who didn't watch the Nebraska and Minnesota game, that 13-10 victory. Wow, it was a dogfight.
Slugfest.
It was a slugfest. But Michigan football plays today. They take on East Carolina. No Jim Harbaugh. Ooh, no Jim Harbaugh. What do you think? What are some of your favorite games you're looking forward to this weekend, just to start it off?
All right, there are a couple, actually, and I'll start it off with the one. I'll go from my second most excited and first most, and I'm not even going to talk about the Michigan game because they should roll. How about Colorado at TCU?
Yep.
I think that will be a very, very good one. I'm curious to see what this Colorado football team looks like in year one, a roster that's a little bit depleted, but still, you got Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, you got Travis Hunter,
I can't wait to watch Travis
Hunter.
I can't wait.
Is going to be a top 10 to 15 pick when he comes out.
I agree with that.
When we talk about defensive backs in college football, it's Will Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Travis Hunter. I think those are the three best for sure. And then
Coach Prime on the sidelines.
Coach Prime on the sidelines. We'll see if he works out in a Power 5. I think he will. And even TCU, a team that I know way too well. But still, we'll see how they look. They lost Quentin Johnston. They lost Kendre Miller. They lost Steve Avila. They lost Hodges Tomlinson. And they lost Max Duggan. Let's see how they look. And obviously, there's one other game that everyone should be most excited about. And that, of course, and JB, I know you're excited about it too because you got the Joe Burrow LSU jersey. That is LSU at Florida State.
It's a good one too.
The only top 10 matchup in college football this weekend. I believe they play Sunday. And those I kind of did a little bit of research for this game. Those programs have three things in common. They're both preseason top 10s. They both have quarterbacks who are dark horse Heisman candidates. LSU with Jaden Daniels and Florida State with Jordan Travis, who is on, I think, his 10th year of eligibility, by the way. And they both have future top 5 pick defensive superstars in Harold Perkins for LSU and Jared Verse for Florida State. They're both going to be top 5 picks. They're two of the most dominant edge rushers in the country. And that game could determine who makes the college football playoff. If you lose that game, you're not out, but then you have no margin of error. Then you have to go through your conference schedule. But if you win that game, whoever wins that game will be looked at nationally as a national championship contender. So I'm very, very excited about those two games.
I'm excited for Colorado, man, even though I think they might get dog-walked a little bit by TCU.
Yeah.
It doesn't defy what Deion Sanders is building. I'm full confidence in him as a coach. I think one day he'll be in the NFL. I do believe that.
As a coach?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
After his kids, of course, are off into the league or whatever they do.
He's got Shiloh too, right?
Yeah, he's got Shiloh as well. But I don't know, Deion, once his kids graduates, think about Deion, for example. He's going to be like, you know what? Maybe I'll try out the NFL. I love Deion as a coach. I'm excited to see him. What about you, Lucas? Kyle McCord getting the start. You excited?
Going up against the Hoosiers, baby. I'm really excited.
Big Ten football.
Because obviously, Ohio State's going to win this game. But I'm very interested to see how Kyle McCord is going to look. And, man, there's nothing better to watch on Saturdays than Marvin fucking Harrison. Let me tell you, I'm by far the most talented wide receiver I've watched in college football in my lifetime. I don't really remember watching Kelvin that much just because when he was at Georgia Tech, I was a youngin'. But then I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like, Jerry Jeudy was very talented, Amari Cooper, Kelvin Wright, like all those Alabama wide receivers, but none to the level of Marvin Harrison. I just think he's fun to watch. Whether Ohio State's winning or losing, they're definitely going to win this weekend. But like when you talk about like the Penn State games where it's going to be iffy for him, he's just going to be fun to watch. He's always going to put on a show no matter who's in front of him.
I'm excited to watch specific teams, of course, but more than that, I'm a draft geek. I love the NFL draft. I love the NBA draft. It's what I love tuning into. I love watching college football, college basketball for that reason. Guys come out of nowhere. Guys that were on boards. You see, it's funny. You look back too. You look at a lot of the projected boards for a year before the draft. They never end up lining up. Like a player always falls. Like a Drake May, for example. Excited to watch him. Caleb Williams will be playing as well. Those are two of the
Michael Penix
top 2 quarterbacks. Michael Penix is another one who I think could be sliding up depending on how well he plays with Washington. But there's also the underlying narratives. But people are chiming in now, talking about what they're interested to see. Wyatt saw both Larry Fitzgerald and Calvin Johnson in person in college studs.
Larry Fitz athleticism, especially at Pitt, slept on.
Big Con 51, Jeff taking shots at the Big Ten. Yeah, the SEC looked great last night against the Pac-12. Okay,
that's
fair.
extreme, though.
That's fair. Part of it is poking fun at Sam Flannel because I love to do that. Non-applicable says Michigan over under 0.5 sacks on Saturday.
Stop it.
Sam Flannel.
7.
Over under 100 rushing yards for Michigan.
Okay, smash that over.
Look at Jesse Adams, the resident college football fan. He says Hammer Rutgers, minus 6.5 versus Northwestern at home.
Northwestern is going to be like a 1-win team. So yes, Hammer though. Hammer Rutgers.
Kevin Bell, I bet against Michigan State in the spread in Michigan. Against the spread. In Michigan and the spread, excuse me. Booner says, imagine if Ohio State lost week 1.
Yeah, okay, imagine if Michigan lost week 1. Like you're saying, neither of these teams are losing week 1, I'm sorry. When has Indiana really ever posed a threat to the Big Ten?
2020, the COVID year, and that's about it.
Okay, but that's like a one-off. You know what I mean?
Right.
If Ohio State loses to Indiana, okay, whatever. Then I'll shut my mouth about everything. But it's just not happening. I get it. They lost C.J. Stroud. Good. I'm happy. I'm truly happy.
I want you to clip this right now, and I want to revisit what you just said in like week 8. And I want to see where you're at.
Because I don't know what I'm getting at least this time. I knew with C.J. Stroud, great. We'll go beat up on the Indianas of the world. Okay. Lights come on.
All right. Well, if you want some of the best college football coverage by a Michigan fan and a Sparty fan, watch Woodward Rivals, of course.
Ooh.
And Woodward Sports resident Sparty, Spencer Raxter, and Walmart Wolverine, myself, Flannel Sam, go head-to-head in Woodward Sports' latest show, Woodward Rivals. You don't want to miss Flannel Sam breaking down why this may be the year for U of M, or heavyweight Spencer Raxter body slam every Flannel Sam stat that comes his way, and defend Sparty's honor. Tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. You can actually tune in right now and watch the replay. Me and Spenny filmed it live yesterday at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's up right now. It was a really, really fun episode
to film. Yeah, you guys killed it.
I appreciate that, Lucas. And you know what? You can do that every single Thursday. And I'm really excited for this one, especially as the season goes along. Don't miss the most anticipated Michigan State show Detroit has to offer, Woodward Rivals. Man, that was a really fun one to film. I think me and Spencer, especially in Michigan State week, I can't wait. Mm-hmm. And especially, there's no chance that Michigan State loses to Central tonight, right?
There's no way.
There's no way.
I mean, there's
not a chance.
There's a chance. There's a small chance.
Well, can we just start with the defense? I mean, this is Mel Tucker, defensive guy, right? That's his background. He has not been able to even put together a respectable defense for Michigan State. That's the biggest thing. Let's just see the defense tonight. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Let's go to break. We'll get back. We'll get to what's trending with Lucas and much more. But before that, I got to tell you about our friends over at Randy Wise, because what could be better than watching celebrities play golf like a DMAC or a Braylon? That's right. Stop in at any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity, VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and a tasty steak after. Compliments of fairway packing. Make the wise decision and get to Randy Wise today for your chance to win. We'll be right back in a short break to get to what's trending with Lucas.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
How would you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps.
Never sleeps.
It's the Centron Energy Drink It and Live It sweepstakes. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter yourself to win. Register at drinkcentron.com/Vegas and buy Centron at your local Myers store. Look good, feel great, be the best version of yourself with Centron. drinkcentron.com/Vegas.
It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We're off and running at 9:40. 20 minutes left of the show. 17 now. We appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget, hit the like button on the stream. You guys have been very supportive with that, helping out the algorithm, the show, the network. So we thank you for that. Check your watches, everybody. Check the clock. It's time for What's Trending with Lucas.
It is time, and I'm going to give us Lions fans something that we never thought we would really have seen. At Eagles practice yesterday, there was a video of Matt Patricia and Darius Slay dapping each other up. It looks like they're on good terms.
No, it's not.
It makes me cringe. Like, you know the context behind it? Like, there goes Matt Patricia. What's that big play? What up, though?
And this is, okay.
Here's my question to you guys. Would you ever thought there would be a day where you would see that video?
You know what that looks like to me? Like that interaction. It's like a worker or an employee that just absolutely hates his boss, but he's like, man, I gotta say hi to him. Like, oh, what's up, Matt Patricia? Oh, cool. And then he just goes back to stretch, and Matt's like, hey, man, hey, let's have a good day today. Let's have a good practice
Still
today.
shouldn't be training with Sherman.
Like, guy just, I know, exactly. But then there's that. I don't think Darius Slay's over it. And I don't think this is uncommon in the NFL, Sam Flannel, where there's assistant coaches and players that have beef. I don't think this will derail the Eagles season. Trust me, I'm not going that far. But for the fact that the Eagles brought in Matt Patricia, knowing they have Darius Slay, like they had to have known there's going to be some awkward moments like this. And if I'm Darius Slay, I'm like, dude, I don't even want to just get out of my face. I'm cool. I'm an all-pro corner. I don't need your help, Matt Patricia. I'll be just fine.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's going to derail the Eagles season or anything, but yes, I'm absolutely surprised that this ever happened. And not only that, that a well-run organization like the Philadelphia Eagles would bring Matt Patricia in any capacity. Do I think it's going to cost him anything? Well, probably not, but still, Matt Patricia is just... He's a cancer, he's an eyesore, he's a terrible coach on all regard. And I get it, we're biased Lions fans, but still, I never expected Darius Slay and Matt Patricia to be in the same room together on an Eagles practice. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, like Funky's saying, he says, I didn't hear anything you said during the clip. FYI, Slay did say after he left that his and Patricia's relationship has gotten better. Just a reminder. You believe that, Funky?
No.
Like, that...
There's something...
Define gotten better. Like, they're talking now. Like, I don't think Slay will ever forget that, what Patricia said, because it was a personal shot. And it was really ridiculous, the comments that Patricia had for Slay. And that handshake was just awkward as hell. It didn't look natural. I don't know. I don't think he's over it. He might say he's over it. Hey, me and Patricia put that in the past. You don't forget things like that. Like, I wouldn't either. Maybe I'm just petty.
Especially as a competitor, because Darius Slay in his days here, he was a premier corner. Like he was still a top guy, and obviously still is in Philly. So I doubt his mindset has changed. But we're gonna keep it in Detroit. Andre Drummond. I saw the stat last night. I don't have a graphic for it. But Andre Drummond, here's a crazy stat. He has over 92 games where I believe it was 15 plus rebounds. It went. Rudy Gobert had like, I want to say it was high, like 195. DeAndre Drummond had like 211. And then Andre Jordan was in the 300s for the most games with 15 plus rebounds. And this was the video that kind of went with it. So I want to get your guys' opinion on this.
Perspective, like I just said, I used to play 40 plus minutes. I was a star, all-star, all-NBA. I've done it. Hall of Fame candidate, best rebounder ever.
I've been seeing this little graphic going around, something about you being the total rebound percentage.
Ever.
Oh, you already know what I'm talking about.
I'm the best ever.
No doubt.
What you mean?
Okay, let me ask you this. Big man in the history of the game, where do you rank yourself? Where do you see yourself?
In terms of rebounding or as a big man?
All around, everything. Whatever you want.
I'm not gonna lie, there's some good-ass bigs in the time. I think I've done great in my career. I think I have a chance to be a Hall of Fame player due to what I've done in my career. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm in the top 20 for being in the Hall of Fame. So I have a great chance.
Best rebounder
ever.
There is a lot to unpack there. So we're gonna make this a two-parter. Parlay it. Is DeAndre Drummond the best Andre Drummond the best rebounder ever? And is he a Hall of Famer?
Why you always lying?
I'll say this. He is, I mean, in terms of rebounding, dude's elite. But I'm going to ask Sam Flannel this.
Yes.
Ben Wallace or Andre Drummond?
Oh.
Who's a more worthy Hall of Famer, Sam Flannel? You're on the stand.
Okay,
tread carefully, Flannel.
Tread carefully, Flannel.
I will tread carefully because I don't want to say anything impulsive. But let me just say this. Andre Drummond had 3 consecutive 15 and 15 seasons. Andre Drummond, I think, is somebody who gets a little bit underrated by Pistons fans for how good he actually was. He just wasn't supposed to be the guy who was going to be the number 1 option on a championship team, obviously. Wait a minute. No, hold on. But here's the difference between Andre Drummond and Ben Wallace.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
The Pistons, and this does matter, the Pistons never won anything with Andre Drummond. At least when Ben Wallace was winning Defensive Players of the Year, he was a very, very valuable piece on a championship team. So yes, Ben Wallace is a bigger Piston legend than Andre Drummond.
Hall of Famer.
Say it, Flannel.
Who's more qualified?
Neither.
You got to pick one.
No. Who's more qualified?
You got to
Ben
pick
Wallace
one.
or Andre
Say it,
Drummond?
Flannel.
Ben Wallace.
Okay. At least, okay. You know what?
Round of applause for Flannel.
Shout out to Sam for being objective there because he's absolutely right. Andre Drummond doesn't have multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. He doesn't have an NBA championship. Like, there's stuff that, that Ben has. Obviously, for Andre, I don't even think he's the best rebounder. I'm with the chat. Dennis Rodman, do we forget he exists?
Like, that's a good call.
Like, D. Rodman, who is a Hall of Famer, by the way.
He was undersized compared to
But
Drummond,
for Andre, you know what, him talk, I feel bad for Andre because, and I can't believe I'm saying that, because Sam's right to some extent. Detroit Pistons fans were hard on Andre. Yeah. But again, Pistons management, Stan Van Gundy was also a part of that, made Andre Drummond, and he got a bag, he did, but he was in a role he wasn't supposed to be in. Right. He was the franchise player. He was never supposed to be a franchise player. That's not who he is as a player. But him talking on a podcast, talking about, man, you know what it sounds like? Man, back in my day, I was a dog.
Back in high school.
It just sounds like, I don't know, maybe Andre feels like a little, people are forgetting about me, whatever the case may be, but I thought Andre was going to thrive with LeBron in LA, and he couldn't even last there. So, Andre isn't the most easiest player to deal with either. So there's both sides of that, but the dude can rebound. I'll give him that. He can rebound.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I think as more time passes, and hopefully when Troy Weaver and Monty Williams and Cade Cunningham and the like have the Pistons good again, we can look back at Andre Drummond with some more rose-colored glasses, because 3 consecutive 15-point, 15-rebound-a-game seasons do not grow on trees. And Andre Drummond, he did that. He was a very, very good player. He just wasn't. He was put in a role. Yeah, go ahead, Lucas.
I got one more video for you guys, just so we don't run out of time.
Let's do it.
Jonathan Gannon is back, baby.
Oh,
and he decided to drop the motivational speech of a lifetime yesterday. So make sure you guys peep into this.
Welcome back. Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut? Did you? We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted, okay? We're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast.
Did you take the bus here today, Jeff Iafrate? You got that fire in your gut? Well, if you don't, you better find it pretty fast, because we're here to win games. We are here to win games.
I just like the players' reaction. No one was paying any attention or believing this man at all.
I don't want to hear anybody in their right mind come at Dan Campbell for his kneecap speech. I don't want to hear it, because anything that comes out of Jonathan Gannon's mouth is worse than anything Dan Campbell did. I don't want to hear it ever again about the kneecap stuff.
How did this man pass an interview to become an NFL coach?
You got that fire in your gut? No, dude, I just ate hot wings yesterday. That's why I have fire in my gut. I'm actually going to go blow up the toilet later. It has nothing to do with damn showing up. You got to have that fire in your gut. You got to show up to practice, ready to work. Who took the bus today? Who took the bus today? Get the hell out of here, Jonathan Gannon. He's gone after this year. You know what?
That's it, though, fellas.
If I'm the Cardinals, you give that man 1 year, and you fucking send him as far away.
Get him gone.
You send him as far away from the Cardinals as possible. I'm out on I've never been out on a head coach before he coaches, and I'm out on Jonathan Gannon. He's done.
You know, I'm one of those people that doesn't put a lot of credence into motivational speeches. I just think the fact that Jonathan Gannon is walking into a dumpster fire will be more of his downfall than the fact that he's not as charismatic. Is that fair?
Can we put and this is a great point. Hoof Hard, it says someone needs to clip Kabinda nodding into that video. Did you see a Kabinda nodding? I didn't see. All the players were just confused.
It was James Conner just like, okay, no, I didn't take the bus. I'm a millionaire. The last thing I would do is take a bus to work when I don't have to anymore.
Well, I mean, Kabinda nodding can make an entire fan base like you, even though you shouldn't be on any NFL roster. But that's beside the point. Had to get that in.
J Mart says Jeff has the bubble guts. I guess a lot of people in that meeting have the bubble guts, dude. You got fire in your gut? What? Like, imagine getting paid, like, being a grown-ass man, like, playing in the NFL, getting paid millions of dollars to play football, and you got to listen to Jonathan Gannon. Like, dude, I would be like, I'd pull the GM aside and be like, hey, like, is Jonathan Gannon it? Like, I don't know if this guy's going to work, dude. Like, I wish they could release tapes.
Shots.
I wish we could see interview tapes. I want to see Jonathan Gannon's interview to be the head coach. I just want to see it. I want to see what did that man do? That is privilege if I've ever seen one. How the hell did Jonathan Gannon get a head coaching gig? I don't get it. I really don't. But pew, pew, pew. Shots.
Explosive. Teron Belmore.
Shots.
Oh, my God. Chad Fisher says, imagine eating Diablo Taco Bell sauce before this speech. He's like, yeah, no, I got fire in my guts, all right, but it ain't the fire you want, Jonathan Gannon. Let's go to break. We're already in the mailbag, man. I'm sorry. We had fun with the Jonathan Gannon stuff. Get your questions ready. We'll try to get to as many questions as we can. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends over at SMA, because the sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Wondering where the best Lions tailgate is? That's easy. Eastern Market, the official Detroit Lions tailgate party at Shed Number 5 in Eastern Market. Woodward Sports will be broadcasting live for every home game. 3-star Michelin buffet featuring Chef Ermanni, VIP parking, and even tickets if you need them. How do you sign up? Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com and tailgate like a VIP. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. To pulls up. Will Jonathan Gannon last more than a season? Yes or nope? Shoot him out of a cannon.
Gannon out of the cannon.
Brandon, oh, dude, that's hilarious. Gannon out of the cannon. That's what it is. Let's get to mailbag. Sorry, guys, again for the late start here, but we had too much fun there. Let's see. Lucian, mailbag, what's more likely, the Seahawks make the NFC Championship game or the Jets miss the playoffs? I'll say Jets miss the playoffs.
Yep.
Seahawks make the NFC
Of
Championship.
course.
Yeah, we know what Flannel's going
Say the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl, Flannel.
If Chris Jones, if the Chiefs can't get anything worked
there's
out,
always a contingency.
So say it, Flannel.
If Chris Jones, like in the Chiefs, can't get something worked out, then yeah, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl.
But So they're not the best team. There's teams in the NFC better than the Jets.
There might be. What if they play? What if the 49ers look good? What if the Eagles look good? What if, God forbid, the Detroit... Well, not God forbid, but what if the Detroit Lions make it? I'm not picking the Jets over the Lions.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. That'd just be bad karma at that point.
Get the hot dog suit ready.
Sounds like Flannel's kind of walking backwards. Right? He's playing corner. He's moving backwards. He's playing corner right now. That's what you're doing, Sam Flannel.
Like Tease
you know what?
Tabor.
You know what? Speaking of Tease Tabor, he had a very, very forgettable Lions tenure. But this year, I think we're going to be seeing a much better season, and that's why you need to tune into the Lions postgame show.
Lions postgame! Woodward
Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day. Look at that man with the big stick energy. Will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for their hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You don't want to miss it. Maz, Stick, special guests, you never know who you're going to get each week directly following every Lions game, exclusively on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Let's get to some more of these questions. We'll go a little over now because, again, I was just ranting about Jonathan Gannon. Let's see. Noah M. Mailbag. Over under 1.5 punt/kick return touch for Raymond. I'll say...
what was it, 1.5?
Yeah, I'll say over. Oh, you can get 2 this season.
I'm going to go under.
You take 1?
I got 1. Under.
Yeah, I think it's just...
Yeah, I'm saying going under.
It's so hard to get 1 by itself to begin with.
Yep.
I like Khalif, man, a lot. He had, one against the Jets that was a punt return, so... hopefully he'll do that. Yeah, people are showing love to Stick, man. Shout out to Stick. He's a legend.
Shout out to Stick.
Let's see. Jesse Adams, mailbag. What is on the menu for you guys tomorrow for college football? Second question, who are your college football playoff picks? Who's on the menu? We kind of already went through it at 9:30, like who we're tuning into. I think Colorado's up there. I want to see Prime. I want to see Shador. I want to see the Colorado and what they look like, at least game 1 against DCU. The other team, I'll be watching Michigan State, obviously. I'll be checking out Kyle McCord. I mean, I'm going to have a bunch of different streams on at once. One on my computer, one on my laptop, one on my TV.
Some dispo to go with it.
Yeah, well, you never know. Now, college football playoff picks. I don't know if I want to give those out right now.
That's tough.
Maybe way too early ones.
Yeah, well, way too early. I mean, I know Georgia's going to be there. I know Michigan's going to be there. We'll see Alabama, for at least the quarterback situation. We'll see. I wouldn't count Nick Saban out again.
Sure.
But more importantly, it's going to be Georgia and Michigan. I think USC will be there. And then that last team's a wild card. I mean, your boys at over in Ohio, you got confidence they could sneak in there? I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's going to be Ohio State or Michigan. I don't think both of them are going to make it again.
Excuse me. Jesse said, what kind of food? Oh, of course, pizza and wings, man. Pizza and wings are the best combination for anything football related. Now, where you get your pizza and wings, that's up to you guys. I got a couple places I prefer. It's not really. I'm not really that picky, but pizza and wings are always on the menu for me, man. Football, Lions Sundays. I'm getting pizza. I'm getting wings.
Jeff, is that buffalo wings? They get that fire in your belly?
Yeah.
Fire in your gut.
You know what? Yeah, Jonathan Gannon's credit. I got fire in my wings, or in my guts, baby. I got fire in my guts. So yes, it would be because of those hot wings. No doubt about it. One more question, and then we'll end it here. Let's see. Mailbag, did you see the college prediction that had Penn State at 12-0, Michigan at 11-1, and Ohio State at 8-4? Forget who it was.
Give me the path.
I like Penn State this year just to be a team that could be a sleeper. Like their quarterback. I like their run game. They got a good defense. James Franklin, those kind of he's my biggest issue.
He's a Matt LaFleur of college football.
All talk, no substance with James Franklin. I'll see, but I kind of like Penn State.
I think they'll be solid.
Not saying they'll be solid. Third best team, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Penn State.
I think there's a chance to the second best team, but we shall see. Here's what I will say. Michigan and Penn State will go into their matchup late in the season both undefeated. So
think so?
I'm with you there.
I'm big on Penn State this year. I think they are a one-loss regular season team. I'll just say that.
That's fair.
Think they beat the Bucks?
Yes, I do.
I think they could take. You don't think that there's any chance Penn State could beat Ohio State?
There's definitely a chance, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, you could keep hoping.
So can Penn State.
Right, that's actually a great point.
They still have yet to prove it against Ohio State without Saquon Barkley.
That's fair. Sean Clifford was not happy. I'll just say that. Not very happy.
I do like Drew Aller, though.
Drew Aller's better than Sean Clifford.
He's a dude, man. I think he could be a legit NFL quarterback. We'll see. at least on paper, he was highly ranked coming out of high school. Penn State landed a good one with him, man.
Best
They
QB
did.
they've had since Kerry Collins.
Yeah, no question. That'll do it for today. We went 2 minutes over because, again, that is my apologies on the Jonathan Gannon rant. But until Monday, everybody, I hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday to recap college football, Tuesday. I keep forgetting it. We're off Monday. Don't forget that. We got a Best Stuff show Monday. But Tuesday, we'll be back to
and
recap
it's game week, baby.
college football. We'll preview the Lions game. A lot to get into on Tuesday. You're going to want to be there, everybody. Again, Jeff Iafrate, Sam Flannel, JB, Matt Broder was joining us as well. Lucas Klotz, the man, the myth, the legend. We'll see you guys Tuesday. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button.